Hey, welcome back to Episodes from Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me, Trip.
Hey, buddy. What's up?
Nothing much, dude. Just chilling. Super excited to talk to you about this week's topic.
What is it?
Anime Expo Lite.
Dude, you nailed it. You pronounced it correct. We've been saying it for like hours now.
Trying to get it right.
For
people who don't know, there's another way to say anime. And it belongs to Disney. And we'll get into that later. But yeah, this past weekend was the 4th. By the way, happy 4th.
Happy.
This is our 4th of July episode.
Yeah, this week's theme is July.
And yeah, so Anime Expo Lite came out. This is the second time it's happened, right, since pandemic?
Yes.
So this is the second Anime Expo that would have been an actual one. It's still not a real one.
And honestly, man,
yeah,
expect a little bit more, but we'll talk about why.
We will. Yeah, well, for sure. We'll get into it.
I really want to spoil much about that. I was a little bit let down, but I also wasn't expecting a lot.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll get into it, and while we get into it, it's probably not going to be a long discussion because there's not much to get into. So just be aware of that. If you're hoping for like a super hard deep dive, you're not getting that today. We're going to talk about ourselves. We're probably going to talk about the stuff that's not even anime, and then eventually we'll get around to it.
This might be a short one. What have you been up to, dude? What's new?
Okay,
because 2 days of my week are completely gone. Because we watched Anime Expo.
Okay, I was like,
so they're just fucking gone. So I didn't have a long week.
You played a bunch of Mario Kart, dude. What are you talking about?
You haven't missed out on much.
That's true. Let's see. What did I do this week? Saturday on the 3rd, we had a pool party at my sister-in-law's parents' house up the hill in Paradise.
Radical.
Because we'd missed out on like Father's Day for Sierra's dad. So we kind of had like a belated Father's Day. So it was nice. Like everybody kind of brought their own dishes and stuff and brought their own alcohol, and we all kind of drank and played cornhole and swam a bit. It was cool. There wasn't any drama, which is always kind of like the concern when family gets together and drink. You're like, oh man, someone's going to fight about something. No one fought, but I did get really cocky. They had a giant Connect 4 set. And I was like, hey, who wants to play? I'll fucking beat anybody, you know?
Oh, okay.
So I played my sister-in-law, Daryl, smoked her. And then her husband was there. He's like, well, gotta fucking fight for your honor. Wrecked him. So
can you be like good at Connect 4? Is that something that you can like, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, dude, you should fucking see my fucking game, bro.
This guy's a Connect 4 master.
I fucking play mind games like a motherfucker, dude. I'm like, oh, you sure you want to go there? Oh, I wouldn't if I were you. And I go, damn it, they went there.
I could see the drops before they happen.
Exactly. It's a whole anime thing where it's like, oh my god, I can see the moves. But then after I beat them, I kind of took a break. I had, I don't know, several drinks, and I was like, I spoke up and said, I'll beat anybody at Connect 4. Let's fucking do it. Sierra wrecked me. And she did a straight one. Like, it was just up and down. I was like, how did that happen? It's like, because you're dumb. And then I was just like, well, okay, cool. I'll take on Corey, which is my brother-in-law. He wrecked me too with an up and down one. I was like, I can't fucking believe this. And then, Isaiah's wife, Courtney, came through. And I was like, all right, Courtney, you can go easy on me? Sure. She didn't beat me with the up and down one. But I did think I had her. And she was like, no, you didn't. You messed up. And then she beat me. She wasn't even trying to beat me, and she beat me. And I was like, God damn, bro. Fucking 2 and 3 after bragging so hard about how good I am at Connect 4. I got shit kicked in.
Brags about being good at Connect 4.
A lot of it.
Bro, I am a tic-tac-toe master. You won't even fucking handle the shit
you
that I have.
You won't even see it coming. It was a lot of, it was mostly the Modelo's and Trulies that, got me to that point. And then we played cornhole.
Oh my God, that's so funny to me.
I think I did fairly well in cornhole. I think I went we won a few games. I played Corey. He'd never played before. And I was like, cool, you just throw the sack in the hole.
Yeah, man.
And he was like scoring a bunch of points. I caught up. I think he won by 1. And then we played again and I beat him. And then I played Jory and I beat him. But they were close games. So it was fun. Cornhole's nice. There's not much to it, and it's a sport you can play with a beer in your hand. So.
Have you ever seen competitive cornhole?
Oh, yeah. That shit's so fucking wild. Yeah,
it's so funny to me because they just stand there with their beer still.
Or
they have professional jerseys. Mm-hmm. They are in like an arena. Everything's all quiet for them. They're sipping their beer, one hand in a cornhole beanbag. They're like, they like spin it.
They're playing with their sacks, like they're moving it to get it the right. You kind of like you ever see poker players playing when like they'll fiddle with their chips or whatever. So they have like their ticks and stuff.
Oh, it's essentially just all of them become super pizzeria masters, and they're all just tossing their beans.
I've seen
pretty fantastic.
I've seen that. I also really like that sometimes like they just like they'll have like their headphones in because they're like really focusing, and then they throw the sack and it goes in the hole and they're just like, I was like, yeah, dude, you for sure made that sack go in that hole.
I love watching those kinds of sports. It's so funny to me because you have like bowling and cornhole, darts, that kind of shit. Amazing.
Yeah. No, it's
the people that play them are just fat. I learned a lot about bowling. Sorry to derail.
No, it's cool. I like talking about not conventional sports competitively. I really like whenever they pop up my feed. Like it'll be like live stream of like 2021 World Championship of like what's it called when they throw the stones and they sweep it.
Oh yeah, that thing. I'm so bad.
You know what I'm talking
things.
about though?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Curling.
Yeah. Which doesn't sound like
always gets away
like
from
curling,
me.
And if I ever come across any of those on my timeline or on my videos, I instantly share it to my Facebook.
Oh, dude, their
page.
Outfits are amazing.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
So that one I also really like I saw like the competitive, championships of like what's the one where you throw a ball and you throw a ball like to get near it and like people play it in like
bocce ball?
Bocce ball, yeah. Bocce ball, cornhole. I watched one where there was like those air rifles, but they were pistols or whatever, and I was like, these are really fucking dope, dude. So yes, I always like conventional, like not traditional sports, and when people take it really seriously, because like you're throwing a sack in a hole, dude.
So here's the thing that I learned about bowling. Apparently, there was a technology boom with bowling that changed the game, the competitive scene in the game at least, very significantly
in recent years.
I mean, somewhat, not super recent, but recent enough. Essentially, bowling balls used to be made with different materials, and then they started switching to smoother, more easy to like roll kinds of materials.
Right.
So you could get a lot more velocity on your throws and just fucking explode the pins.
Yeah.
And they didn't update the pin technology to go along with the ball technology.
So the balls just got better, and the
balls got better. The pins just stayed the same.
It's like, ow, dude, what the fuck? It's like that ball's on steroids. Like, yeah.
And I learned that by reading this story about a guy who, back when that happened, he had a regular ball. But he was playing by himself in this lane, and when the ball came back, it had a little like chip that was in it.
In the ball?
Something did that. Usually there's like a nail or something that's loose, and then it just gets it when it's sending it back to you. So immediately he brings it up, and he's just like, hey, so this thing over there, like no big deal. He doesn't care. It's like, just a heads up, this lane, it just nicked my ball over here. Is there another lane that we could move to while, that one gets sorted out or whatever? Yeah. And the guy's like, no, we can't do that because we have a party. So we have all those lanes reserved right now. So you're just going to have to keep playing on that lane until you're done today. And then we'll just close it off for the rest of the day.
Wow.
And the guy's like, oh, what about my ball? And he's like, oh yeah, we'll repair that in the shop.
Oh, okay. That's nice of them, yeah.
You're done playing. And he's like, okay, cool. So he plays. His ball gets fucking destroyed. He plays like 3 games. Absolutely destroyed ball now.
Yeah.
And he brings it and he's like, all right, cool. So
fix it. Yeah.
The guy up front said that you'll fix this and that you should be aware. And he's like, whoa. We can't fix that. It's like so broken. And then they get into a conversation about it. The like manager comes in and like tries to figure stuff out. And they're like, here, we can't fix it, but we could give you another ball at like the same value. And then he goes, can I get like the new ball, but just pay the difference? So he pays $50 and gets a new like $300 ball just for $50.
How much of a bowling ball cost?
I don't know. Like good ones.
Okay.
If you're playing competitively, you're clearly trying to get good shit. So yeah, anyways, I learned about all that and I was like, what a fucking dumb person who just says like, yeah, go fuck your ball up a whole bunch and then we'll just repair it for you. Like that's so much more work than just being like,
hey, use one of our balls.
Yeah. Either we can refund you for like the day or whatever.
Yeah.
The solution was we'll repair it.
I guess he got a new ball though, right?
He was stoked. He was like, it was amazing. It was the best thing.
That's strange.
I purposefully wore that ball down because I knew they wouldn't be able to repair it.
Oh, he did. He knowingly did that. Okay, well that's different.
Otherwise, he would have fought against it. But he was very aware. He was like, yeah, I know everything that's going on with all this, and I know the new ball technology, and I would love to get in on that.
Oh my god, what a piece of shit. Now, good for him. Way to play the system.
But yeah, I think that was in the 90s at some point.
Since we're talking about sports, you ever hear about the guy that like purposely like farts when he's playing darts?
No, I didn't know it was on purpose. Oh, but yeah. I have seen the videos of that to throw off his opponents.
Yeah, I don't know if he eats gross stuff on like, or he just has like gnarly farts. But
Isn't that just like a dart player thing though? Aren't you just like
supposed to eat like
waste like greasy bar food. Isn't that the idea?
No, I mean, I've seen the way they're shaped. Most of them don't look like athletes, but I remember seeing like a little documentary about that, and the guy being like, yeah, he purposely like essentially shits his pants when he's at like the dart place or whatever. When he's at the, I don't know what they call it, the line, And so when the next person comes up, they have to whiff all of that and be like, and like not die.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Imagine that. That's what they did in Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Or like those tournaments where like people would sometimes show up purposely super gross, and they're like, "Hey, you have to bathe before you come in." Essentially, like, what are you gonna do? The ref like, "Hey, dude, he farted really bad. Like, well, get the fan or air it out."
And while I miss expos, that is the thing that I'm so nervous about going back next year.
Oh yeah, dude. Just before we get into it, Anime Expo Lite, the smell, 100%, so much better this year.
Oh, dude, it was great. Yeah,
so, it improved dramatically from last year's smell.
It smelled like this scent from Bath and Body Works, like a champagne toast.
Yeah,
it was really good. Yeah,
it smelled like beer, but it still smelled good.
Hey man, both good.
Hey, to each their own.
I mean, then again, like Anime Expo kind of smells like beer if you're going to the beer garden. Yeah.
But we don't nearly spend as much time in the beer garden as we want to.
No, but when we do, we go, this is dope. We need to come back here,
and we don't. We was like, I would fucking live here if the beer wasn't $12.
Expensive as hell.
It's LA.
Hot as fuck.
It's the law, dude. That's why you go to the fucking yard house, bro. I have a half yard.
Yard house.
I'll tell you about my yard house plans.
I miss it, man. What? What are they?
One of Sierra's family friends is getting married pretty soon.
Okay.
And she's getting married in Roseville. So I'm like, okay, cool, we'll go, whatever. And then I remember the last time we were talking about yard house with Wes, I Googled the yard houses because apparently there's one in Sacramento. Because I knew there was one in Roseville, right? And I was just like, I didn't know it was in Sac. I was like, oh shit, that's right, yard house. And I go, hey, Sierra, we have to go there because we're spending the night at a hotel and then like coming back the night. He's like, can we go early to the wedding and go to yard house before the wedding? And then it's like that we can eat and then I could get some yard house in me and then go to the wedding and stuff because they have an open bar, but the two beers they have are things like pale ale and Dos Equis. So I was like, I don't want to drink any Dos Equis.
Yeah, no.
So Sierra's like, yeah,
not
sure.
For you.
So I've been like super juiced about this, and then I'm literally like sitting there like on the couch, just like. Like super giddy. So like, what are you excited for? It's like, I am so fucking pumped for the yard house. He's like, don't you mean my friend's wedding? He's like, yeah, that's
gonna be fun.
But the yard house though,
dude, man, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. So just one more year, maybe. Cross some fingers. I mean, who knows? Because we're doing fine in the U.S. with the Delta variant. I looked up a bunch of stuff because I was about to be like, I don't know if we should be doing this in person again.
Yeah.
But it turns out in the U.S., CDC's like, hey, you guys are still good. Even though we just said everyone needs to keep wearing their masks.
Yeah.
You're still good. Delta variant doesn't really matter for us. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well,
thanks.
Hopefully the rest of the world can return. And since Anime Expo has so much influence from all of the Japanese people coming over and telling us about their beautiful projects.
And we go, nice. Who's your favorite waifu? Yeah. And then they go, what? And they go, so a waifu is, and then they go, please don't insult this man whose career is to make anime.
So Baki the Grappler, one of the best shows of all time.
Dude, shout outs to fucking Anime Expo from like 4 years ago.
It was probably only 2 years ago.
No, it was probably longer than that.
Was it?
Was the Baki the Grappler one the same time we had that, the what's your favorite, who's your waifu? Is that the same? Is it Pony Canyon, I think?
Okay, so you got married 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Anniversary's coming up. Love you, Sierra.
It was asked at the Kengan Ashura thing.
Right, because Baki Grappler already came out.
But I was making my bed frame while watching Kengan Ashura, which was after Sierra moved out of my apartment.
Okay, but what I'm asking is the Kengan Ashura, when the guy brought up, hey, is it going to be one of the best fighting animes like Megalobox or Baki the Grappler? Is that the same time that guy asked, who's your waifu?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, we're good. Timelines?
They match
solidified.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good now.
So it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Shit. Anyways, what else have you been up to aside from kicking
Father's
ass
Day.
in
cornhole and getting my ass whooped at Connect 4? So then after that, on the 4th, my friend Ryan invited me over for like a tiny barbecue and like to go swimming. And I was like, cool, you don't have a pool? He says like, oh, I'm house sitting. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
House swimming.
Yeah, so it was house sitting and they had a pool. It was an above ground pool. It wasn't as nice as the pool I'd swim in the day before. But I was like, hey man,
you know what, man? We're all good. It
was hot, so that was all right. It was fun. What else happened this week? Monday, you and I went and watched the best fucking movie ever.
All right, so here's the thing. We watched The Purge, the new Purge, whatever the fuck it's called.
The Forever Purge.
The Forever Purge.
Thank you.
I forgot that there's a TV show.
There was. That's the only thing I haven't seen. So for people who don't know, I am versed in everything The Purge except for the TV show, which I didn't know actually got made. Like, I thought it was like a...
Isn't it called like The Americans or some shit like that?
No, The Americans is a different show. The Americans is about...
Whatever.
The
It's
Americans,
the same thing.
The Americans, I think, is about a Russian family that are spies and they pretend to be Americans.
Same thing.
It's on FX or FXX.
Same thing.
No, so The Purge, I think it was after the third Purge, at the end, they had a trailer for the TV show. I'm like, they're making this into a TV. How? Like, how are you going to do it? And I guess they did. It only had one season. But yeah, so a trailer not too long ago for the Forever Purge dropped, and Sierra's just like, we got to see this. Because it's something we do. Like, we watched this horrible movie, and you were down instantly.
Oh, yeah, because I'll watch a bad movie with friends anytime anybody wants to go.
And I feel like we've seen The Purge. We've seen
a Purge together,
right? I don't know which one.
And I remember being like, this fucking sucked. It was the one where they were at like a convenience store.
Oh, what?
For like a part of it.
What does that mean? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, well, that's where they were for a part of it. And they were these bunny chicks were like killing people. They had like diamonds all over their face or some shit. I don't know.
Was this...
I hated it.
Was this... Okay, so was in this Purge, did the characters... Was it like a man and a husband? I mean, a man and his wife, or no?
Look, man, here's my knowledge of the Purge.
Was it a Latina chick?
I remember the first Purge very well because I thought it was the stupidest fucking thing. I can't believe this is being made. And then I finally watched it like a couple years after it came out and went, oh, that was different than I expected.
Exactly.
Because it wasn't... the advertisements were completely different than what the movie was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I didn't like that, but it was fine.
Pretty sure Ethan Hawke's in that one, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that one. I was just like, cool, I'm going to go watch people kill a bunch of people on the outside. But actually, it was more like a scary movie because the killer's got on the inside of the house. And I was like, oh, okay. They did trick me because the advertising didn't make me feel like it was like the way.
No.
And then I was like, okay, it's cool. I saw a second one. And the second one, they're outside. They're outside. People, it's like a couple get stuck outside of the Purge because their car breaks down. Purposely, someone like fucks up their car. And then we find out in the very end that like there's like an underground community of people who are trying to fight the Purge from like happening, or whatever. And the third one, the second one's called Anarchy. The third one, they try to stop the Purge by like having a senator survive. They're trying to kill her because if she becomes a senator, she's going to stop it. She does, whatever.
I remember all these trailers, but if I can't remember anything about any of the movies. I don't know if I've seen all of them, but there's a good chance I have.
I think, is this 5? Is this the 5th one?
That's what I don't know.
Because I think there's one after that where it's actually the first Purge ever. And it's in Staten Island.
I do remember ads for that.
And then there's this one. I think there's 5 Purge movies. Holy shit. They made 5 pieces of garbage.
Yeah, none of them are good. That's the thing. The first one, if somebody wanted to argue that one was good, I would be like, fine, you take it.
It's fine, yeah.
Like, I get to do the same thing about Saw, but I know I'm right.
The Saw one, first Saw is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second Saw is pretty good too, actually.
I don't want to say it is. I'm biased. When I saw it, I really liked it.
Yeah, Socko Bell.
I was like a child.
You were a kid when you saw it?
I was 13 or whatever when it came out.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Whatever, how old I was.
I didn't watch it until I was older, but yeah.
And then Saw 3 came out, and I saw that, and I was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Bad,
That's bad.
Yeah.
So...
No, so I agree. Like, they're not great movies, but they're
Purge movies,
they're like, huh, that was dumb. Let's go watch it.
Yeah.
But in the most recent one, the Purge has been reinstated. This is the first Purge since it's been reinstated. There's more of a Latino vibe. Our main characters are like immigrants from Mexico living in Texas. And then the Purge, which I guess lasts 12 hours. I thought it lasted longer than that. It's only 12 hours. I guess it's like...
Yeah, it's just one night.
Yeah, one night.
I remember it being advertised as one night.
I thought it was
24
hours.
Too.
Yeah, I thought it was 24 hours. Maybe it was they pulled back or something. Yeah. But they survive the one night. They go back to their normal lives, and then there's a bunch of fucking people like, "Nah, dude, we're still fucking purging. It's the forever purge." And then like everything fucking hits the fan, and then like the world's going to shit, and then I think there's like an announcement, be like, "Hey,
the world, just the United States,
well, is the center of the world, the most important part of the world."
Okay, all right.
Arguably, California, the center of the United States. Actually, what is the center of the United States? What's the very most center part of it?
I don't know, but they were in Texas.
Yeah, they were in Texas. Yeah. But I'm asking you, like, geography-wise, I don't know, fucking what state's in the center.
Juan,
come on, you're smarter than me.
I can handle logic type stuff.
Jesus Christ.
But when it comes to retention,
what a dingus.
When it comes to retention, I'm like Montana, maybe.
Okay,
Montana feels like it's too far west. Wyoming. That's probably too far west too.
Kansas?
Maybe. I don't know.
Is Kansas a state?
Ask the internet.
Internet, tell us what the center is. Anyways, there's an announcement saying like, hey, go to Canada or Mexico. We're opening the borders. Come through. And so then they make it to there. It's pretty bad. What was the best part of it, though? With the scream? Was that the best part?
I mean, to me, the Wilhelm scream was the most disgraceful use of a Wilhelm scream I had ever seen.
Out of ever used. I mean, it was used very poorly. For people who don't know, is that a specific person that made that scream?
So it's the original, like, classic old school, like, back in black and white movie days.
Yeah.
There's the Wilhelm scream. And it's been used, you just look it up online.
Everything.
It's in nearly everything. You could see it in ads. You could see it in every kind of movie.
Malcolm in the Middle has to have
movies.
One,
Like, it doesn't matter. But they decided normally it's like a little fun thing. You just sneak it in. It's like, hey, here's a Wilhelm scream.
They almost made everything quiet when they played it.
They specifically made sure that it was an arrow that killed the person, so it's the most quiet weapon. And he was just like vibing. Then he does a full jump and spin while the Wilhelm scream goes off in this Purge movie. It was so fucking ludicrous. It's always fun to be like, oh man, they just threw that in the background there, or like off screen, somebody just did something and now Wilhelm. But no, this was just in the center of everything. It was so quiet.
They made a spectacle of it, and other people in the theaters also saw it. They're like I laughed. I was like, really?
Oh, dude, lots of people were laughing in the theater, but a lot of them were laughing at the jokes in the script, and
I like that you call them
flirting. I don't know what to call them. People laughed at them.
The moments of supposed to be like humor or levity. I was like, cool. Like the Mexican guy holds up. I'm gonna give him his name. His name's TT. So one of the characters, only the characters I know, holds up a jar of peanut butter, and then the white woman, I don't know her name. I can't give her name.
That sucks.
She holds up a piece, a jar of jelly, and he goes like, "Hey, what did he say? Something about like,
hey, I got the peanut butter,
you got the jelly. Let's have sex." Essentially,
yeah. Like it looks like we should be fucking.
I think he said something like, "We can make this work" or something like that.
Yeah. And the old people behind us,
starn Latinos with their fucking sensory humor. Yes, but that was a really bad one. The whole scream was killer. No, I was. What did I like? The thing that got me was they kind of made it. They implied that that Mexicans have some sort of like hidden underground secret, which isn't far to believe when you're trafficking people illegally from one country to another. Obviously, there's some sort of like connection of tunnels. There's ways to get in here. But the part that killed me was in the beginning when they get through the tunnels and down there in Texas, a little boy hands him a loteria card that has the rose on it. He goes like, "Hey, if you ever have any trouble, follow the roses." And I was like, okay, cool. And then wouldn't you know it, they're like in El Paso trying to make it to fucking Mexico, and everything's going crazy. And then they're just like this big graffiti, tag, and there's a rose on it. And he was like, "Oh, we'll follow the roses." And then they all start following roses, and there's like a neon sign rose or whatever. And then they get to like the safety spot, and they go like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, Latinos have this thing where like, if you follow the rose, like it's a way for us to kind of get together." I'm like, no, we fucking don't. We don't fucking have that.
Yeah, you do.
Where the fuck have I?
You're not very cultured. It's fine.
I guess that's the part that killed me. I was just like seriously, maybe I'm just not Mexican enough where I just don't notice it. Maybe I'm not hitting the right control button. Maybe I'm not hitting the what was it? The scan button on fucking. What was it game?
I don't know what you're trying to talk about.
The game
right
that we
now.
played. That you just beat there's like the space chick, yeah, where you can scan everything, like or fucking Assassin's Creed.
It just shows you doors.
Yeah,
that's what I was like. You don't see the roses. You don't have a scan. Don't have a scan for roses. You're not Mexican, man. It sucks, but that's just what's true.
But that part's that kind of got me like, that's fucking dumb. I get it. It's cool. It's like a use of like you can play it like an Underground Railroad kind of thing. It's like yeah, but it's not real.
No, not at all. Honestly, I don't have anything to say about the movie.
Besides it being a great time.
They made the racist white guy into like a redeemed character at the end. And I was like, shut the fuck up. That guy was so fucking overtly racist. Yeah. Just like, no, we don't speak a lick of Spanish in this house. And I was like, bad. Fuck you, guy.
You know what kind of
Jesus
confused me about that? I didn't really understand. Somebody says like, hey, maybe you can meet, the nanny. She can help you. He was like, I thought that was the sister because I thought the sister had kids. Sister didn't have kids. So it's just somebody else that was there that had kids, because those kids never show up. Like, they're never seen the movie again. But yeah, he's absolutely racist. I did like the Mexican guy just being like, hey man, you don't like me, right? He's like, what? He's like, yeah, because I'm Mexican, and that's why you don't like me. He goes like, what? No. I was like, yeah, you do. Just say you do.
And then he goes, I just think it's important that we stay separated and we don't ever talk to each other. And fuck you, I hate you, stupid piece of shit.
That was so good. Okay, cool. He's just like, no, I just don't think we should mix. I think you should stay with your people and stay with other people. Oh, cool. Good ideology. But he redeemed himself because at the very end he said, gracias, Juan. He said he learned some Spanish. He improved. He's a better man now.
I hate it so much. Oh man, we just survived this thing where everyone was trying to kill us and we didn't want to die. And just because you didn't want to kill me, well,
gracias. Muchas gracias.
I hated it.
How bad was it? He's just like, the part that also got me is like, she has her baby, his wife has the baby, and then she goes, it's a girl. He goes like, it's a girl? It's like, how do you not know what kind? She's like 9 months. She's about to have the baby.
Because there's so many people that don't want to know.
That's not a thing anymore. No one does that.
It's not really a thing anymore for people like us. But for people like them, it is a thing. I'm sorry, man. People have different kinds of cultures. People have different kinds of upbringings. And sometimes they don't want to know, how to prepare for their baby's future.
Fucking,
they don't want to know what kind of difficulties they're going to face.
Like, we don't care, boy, girl, that baby's going to be named Dallas. Like they just had the name picked and everything. I'm not that she was named Dallas. She was named something really bad, I guess. Someone else. Anyways.
Electronics.
No, she wasn't named something like that. But she had a name, and it was a pretty boring name. I thought he was going to name her something better.
Rose. Yeah, I know. Hire me. Fucking hire. That's what I... Anyways.
That's what... Oh, dude. You just literally made that movie better by like 10%.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Or she could have been like, cool.
We didn't talk about this. I didn't think about it. I didn't give a fuck about the name.
You just literally said, boom. Yeah, dude, that's so good.
Guess what? You don't need to be a good fucking writer to make that movie better than it is. You just need to be a little shitty boy who watches anime all the time.
It was a good time, though. I had a great time hanging out with my friends. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. I liked seeing everybody. It's always good.
What else has happened, dude? I don't know. I feel like that's it, dude. Like,
I know. Well, Anime Expo really fucked stuff.
Shit. I know. Dude. Oh, okay. So, I didn't watch, since I didn't have to watch any anime because there wasn't.
You didn't have to, but you could have.
I didn't have to. Because usually what happens is like the day before the pod, I'm like scrounging to finish up the thing or whatever, trying to catch up. But I didn't have that. And I was like, I was like, an Anime Expo, there's no way I'm going to go back and watch those VODs. It's not worth it.
Wow. You didn't watch any?
I watched like a couple and I was like, this is bad.
Okay, well, you did better than me.
I was just like,
I didn't watch any.
I watched a couple. Like I said, I rewatched the Vision one. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to
it. God, you should. Anyways. But I was sitting at home. I was like, well, what can I watch? I was like, I don't have to actually watch anime. BT dubs. I did watch anime. We'll get to that when we're watching later.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Okay, I believe it.
But I was like scrolling through Facebook, through Netflix, and Netflix was like, hey, dude, fucking Cobra Kai new season's out. I was like, oh, cool, I've heard that's pretty good. And I was like, but I don't want to watch it because I'm still burnt about the last time I watched The Karate Kid. I was watching The Karate Kid, I don't know, like 6-7 months ago. I think I could talk about this. And then.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
And I was about to finish it. There's like 20 minutes left in it, right? And then it turned from, 11:59 to midnight. And then my computer literally went, like glitched. And then it said, I like refreshed it and they go, Karate Kid's not here anymore. You can't watch it anymore. And I was like, what the fuck? I was so pissed. I Googled it. I like Googled it. I'm like, wait, when does the Karate Kid literally left the next day, which was at midnight, right? So I was just like, wait, they're not even gonna let me finish this movie? Like, no, go fuck yourself. We said this time it's gonna be gone and it's gone. And they did it. And then I didn't know Netflix was like so like strict about it. I was like, okay, cool. So
just get a VPN, change your location to Alaska or Honolulu or some shit.
So I've been kind of salty about that. But because the Cobra Kai was being advertised, I wonder what Cobra Kai is being advertised. And I was like, wait, like the Karate Kid's back on there. I was like, hey. I go, no way. I'm like, fuck them. I'm gonna finish this movie. I was like, let's play it. So I went to play it, start it from the beginning, and it goes like, would you like to resume from where you last heard? And I was like, fuck you, Netflix. They saved the exact point where I was at. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, those fucking dicks. Those pieces of shit. Because it's like, so that means they literally just stopped it and said, no, you can't watch this anymore. It's like, but it saved my spot. So it wasn't like they removed it and it just wasn't there anymore. It's like, no, it's here. You just don't have access to it.
And they didn't renew its license, so they can't distribute it to people. But they saved the point. That's so funny. I didn't anticipate that.
I didn't either. And I was just like, fuck them. So I just watched the last 20 minutes of the movie and I was like, this is bullshit. And I was like, cool. I still have something, more time to watch. So then I watched Karate Kid 2 when he goes to Okinawa and he learns the way of the drum. It's not as good. And then today I watched The Karate Kid 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I'd never seen before. I'd seen parts of it, like on TV, and I go, every time I saw it, I go like, is this, what Karate Kid is this, you know? And then I finished that one, I was like, okay, cool. I think I'm ready to watch Cobra Kai. And then I was like,
No.
I go, hold on. I think there's one more. And then there's the next Karate Kid, which has Hilary Swank and fucking, what's his face isn't anymore.
J?
No, the main character from the original Karate Kids.
I'm not going to tell you. I don't know.
I don't know his name either. I always forget it. But he wasn't in it. It's like, cool. I was like, I'll go check this one out. So I played it and I was like, okay, cool. Here we go. So it's still Mr. Miyagi. He goes to DC. He's being honored for something he did in the war.
Why did they have so many Karate Kids and nobody knew about them? Or I didn't know about them.
Oh, because they were a gold mine. This one came out in 1994. That one, the next Karate Kid. So Mr. Miyagi goes to DC. He's being honored for some medals for something he did in the war. And then he goes to dinner with a family friend who he served with. The husband passed away, so she's spending time with his wife or whatever, and they're in Boston. And then she's just like, I don't know where my granddaughter is. She's supposed to be here, but she's not. So I'm sorry about that. And Mr. Miyagi's like, it's fine. Actually, before that, super fucked up joke. He was
different time kind of joke. Different.
Just the way it was just like, it wasn't like overtly racist, but it was just like, that is not okay. You can't, what? But anyways, she goes, hey, Mr. Miyagi, would you like some potatoes? He goes, no, I'm a rice man. I was just like, what? Anyways.
He's a rice man.
He is a rice man. He's a fan of rice. The Hilary Swank shows up, which is the granddaughter, and she like walks by and she automatically has mad, backpack over, one strap in it.
Yeah, dude, it was the 90s.
Mad dude. And she's just like, say hi to Mr. Miyagi. She looks at him and like goes away and then comes back. She goes like, yo. And she leaves again. She's like filling her backpack with like food and stuff. She's like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to go see your friends. Like, which friends? Like, stop ruining my life. And then she goes, the grandma calls her the wrong name. And she goes like, that's not my name. That's my mom's name. My name is this. Like, my mom and my dad died in a car accident a year ago. Stop trying to make me my mom. And I was like, oh, nice exposition dump. In a minute, I know exactly who she is. And I was like, you know what?
Sometimes that's all you need.
I'm gonna stop.
What?
Couldn't do it.
You got more Karate Kid to watch, though.
No, yeah, I started watching Cobra Kai instead. I enjoyed it a lot more.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the remakes.
James Smith one, that one sucks.
Well, you still need to respect.
I don't need to watch it. No, fucking no. That was
watch that. It's okay.
I watched that movie a lot because my younger brother was a huge fan of it when we were younger.
Oh,
and he's just like, dude, you want to watch Karate? He's like, no, Jose, I don't want to watch the Karate Kid. He's like, yo, but it's that or 101 Dalmatians, and we've already seen 101 Dalmatians today. I was like, you're right, we haven't watched Karate Kid. Let's watch it again.
I'm just, I guess I'm confused because I don't remember it coming out when I was young.
Well, young, I was like 15 or something.
Yeah.
I didn't have any internet.
At that time, absolutely no way am I rewatching The Karate Kid.
I wasn't blessed with like any subscription service until I turned 18 and
you
paid
had
for
Nintendo.
myself. I had a Wii U, and I had the ability to go to YouTube. It's like, I want to watch a movie.
No,
and we just bought DVDs is what it was. And then also fucking
go watch The Mystery Men. Anyways.
What are they called? Rentals companies started not existing anymore. I couldn't even, one of my favorite things was to go down to the fucking Hollywood Videos or All the Best Videos or Blockbuster and like just rent, and like that stopped existing.
Give them a quarter and they give you a fucking whole collection of movies.
And then they did the thing where like, no more late fees. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't have this movie forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just like, no, those things died out. And my parents weren't with it to get us like Netflix and stuff. So I was like, cool, I just don't have it. So I just watched a bunch of reruns. I did watch the Doug movie a lot. It was really good though. I don't regret watching the Doug movie.
So you probably know a lot of lines from that and could probably recite just
the Doug
specific
movie?
Scenes in the Doug movie then.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Or did you not like it as much as you just let on?
I do love it. I don't know. I know it pretty well. I don't think I know the words. I mean, I've never good at that. But yeah. Anyways, I'm not watching that Karate Kid unless you want to watch it with me.
No, not interested at all. It's never seen it. Gonna keep it that way.
It's probably on Disney Plus. I do remember in that Karate Kid, Jackie Chan's in it, right? And he's teaching him kung fu and not karate. So it should be called the Kung Fu Kid. Mm-hmm. Also, they don't do the crane kick. He does the Viper Strike or something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be cool.
Also, there's a scene in the original Karate Kid where Mr. Miyagi gets drunk when he's remembering. I think it's the anniversary of his wife passing. The same thing happens when Jackie Chan does it, but instead Jackie Chan all year rebuilt a small Toyota or a Honda. He rebuilds a car. All year you see him, like when he's on his off time, he's rebuilding this car. And then on the anniversary, once the car's completely done, he gets fucking hammered and then destroys the car. Because I guess his wife died in a car accident. He feels guilty about it. So that's just what he does. Every year he just rebuilds a car and then beats the shit out of it. And I go, wow, that's a lot fucking darker than the original Karate Kid.
Yeah, just like, wow, that guy really needs therapy.
Yeah,
oh my God.
So I'm a real karate, kid kind of vibe right now. Yeah. So I think we need a Mr. Miyagi prequel. That's
okay, for sure.
Will you work on that with me?
Who do you cast?
Anime. What are you talking about?
Okay.
What are you talking about? Who do we cast?
Who do you cast still?
We cast.
I want Jaden Smith to be the Karate Kid still.
Oh yeah,
and Lakeith, yeah, sure, is his mentor.
Is Mr. Miyagi,
and that's it.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, of course it would be Miyagi still. Well, no, because Jaden Smith is Mr. Miyagi, and then the mentor is
the new Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, he will be the mentor. It's the prequel, you said.
Yeah.
So he's the Karate Kid.
Yeah,
and then the mentor is Yasuke.
No, it's got it.
Hey, man, you want the prequel.
Mr. Miyagi learned his karate from Mr. Miyagi, which is Mr. Miyagi's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Miyagi?
Yeah, Yasuke
Miyagi.
Yeah,
I guess. Cobra Kai's pretty good, though.
I've heard a lot of good things. I've wanted to watch it, but
Ralph Macchio. That's his name, Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
Thank you, Game Grumps.
That's what it was.
I heard what's his face, not Aaron, the other one, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
He said it like in a funny voice, and that's what I heard. It's Ralph Macchio. That's the name of That's not the name of the character. It's the name of the actor that plays the character. Daniel something. Daniel San. That's what his name is in the fucking movie. Yeah, dude.
All right, well, that has been Karate Talk.
Dude, as
a new segment that we will be repeating every week.
Dude, I was like, well, we're not going to talk about anime because anime will suck.
So you're like, I'm going to talk about just a ton of fucking
Karate
movies.
Kid.
The entire plot line of every movie that I've seen in the past week.
Dude, it's pretty good. Yes.
It's so funny. All right, so my turn to talk about every movie that I've seen this last week.
You watched The Forever Purge?
Yeah, so it starts out, and it's about
No, I was like, go for it. I want to know what your take on it was, because I thought it was a masterpiece.
Fucking awful.
It was pretty bad.
Terrible.
It's not the worst. It's not that great, though.
Yeah. Anything else exciting? Any other highlights of your week?
No. Do you know any highlights of my week? Is like there anything?
No.
Okay, no. Because
it's not like I'm not trying to.
No, okay. Because sometimes you remember something that I don't remember, and I was like, but no, I don't think so. I think it just school started. Fuck, forgot.
Oh right, I forgot about that too. I haven't been going to school with you, so it's hard for me to remember.
School started. It was pretty chill. This class has 4 people in it. It's the introduction to game animation, which is nice.
I remember you talking a little bit about this. Yeah,
it's nice because my last classes have had like 9-10 people in it. So my teacher was talking to us and like essentially giving us the rundown of what he wants for this semester and like how things are going to work. And he was saying like, hey guys, because he was like running late. And he's just like, no, running long. He was like, I know your guys' time is valuable and stuff. He's like, I want to keep these classes kind of short, so I'm sorry. And looked at the time. I was like, it's only been 2.5 hours. He's just like, yeah, I want to kind of keep it, to 2 hours, kind of max. And I was like, holy shit. I've had like 4 or 5 hour classes in the past because like I have so many people in there and they have to wait for my turn to go up. So I'm like, dude, this sounds great. Yeah, dude, keep this shit up.
2 hours, hell yeah.
I don't mind. If that's the case, I don't mind 2.5 hours, dude. And then because there's only 4 people in the class, one kid wasn't even there. She said that she wasn't gonna be able to make it, so it was even less people. But it was cool. I think my biggest concern was that I got an email saying the headline said, "Hi gamers," and I was like, fuck. I already feel like a fraud.
You are not a fraud. Don't worry, baby.
But I
like video games.
I did bring it up, and I was just like, I brought it up and said, hey, so because we had to introduce ourselves, like, hey, I don't play many video games. I do really like the animation video games. I just, it's something I don't do, to like have fun. Like I watch movies or shows and stuff. Like, but I do play video games, just not like probably as religiously as like you guys do, Mm-hmm. And I did explain to them, hey, there's probably like memes and references that like you guys might really know. I might not. They might go over my head. So like feel free to explain them to me if you want to. Because like when I was in college, a lot of my friends were on the game side of stuff. So they would talk about like game stuff. And I was like, I don't know what they're saying. And then they would be like, they would fill me in like, this means that, this company does this. And they kind of like, okay, cool. So it's not like new to me. I instantly regret saying that because we started the class and the teacher's just like, I think he heard that I'd never played a game in my life, I was like, which wasn't the case.
But yeah. What?
But then he's like, he talks about like participation is a part of our grade. This is the first time participation has ever been a part of any of my grades at this program. So we have to be very active on Discord, talking to each other, and we get grades on like what we say. So like we have to once a week, review someone else's work, also have people look at our work, and then also just talk about something video game related, something about the industry or anything. And so he's like talking about like a bunch of industry stuff. He goes, for you, Juan, you can just like, if you see like a video game that you like, you can just like post it and be like, hey, this trailer's kind of cool. I was just like, I was like, okay, but I know how to find industry news. Like I know how to, find out about like stuff. It's just like, but he's essentially said like, hey, yeah, just posted like a trailer for a new game and say you want to play it, and maybe that starts discussion. Or be like, hey guys, Legend of Zelda, that's pretty cool, right? I was like, oh, cool, dope. And then later on that day, in that class, someone brought up Brutal Legends or whatever, and they were talking about it, and then they stopped and they're like, so hold on, Brutal Legends is a game where like Jack Black. I'm like, I know what Brutal Legends is. I was like, who doesn't know what Brutal Legends is? And it was like,
some people don't, because it's a little bit niche.
But the reason I know is because like, but I know who Jack Black is.
Jack Black,
like,
and it was heavily advertised.
Yeah, as Jack Black. And also, I've seen plenty of clips of people being like, look at this funny moment from Brutal Legends. I've never played it. I don't know how good it holds up as a game, but I absolutely know what Brutal Legends is.
I watched about 5 minutes of it.
Yeah. And so it's like, God, this is going to be a slog. But yeah, everybody seems really nice. There's obviously every time that we have to start school, there's always one kid in the class who's like way at 100 when everybody else is kind of chilling at like a 70, with like their excitement level. And he's like asking so many questions, and I'm just like, cool. And I don't, because there's so little of us, I'm like, I don't mind, ask as many questions as you want. And then he was one of those guys that like, will ask a question, but then answer his question while he's asking it. And they're like, what do you think? And then essentially wanting the person to be like, oh yeah, what you said is actually what I was going to say, kind of stuff. I was like, those are the worst. And I'm just over here and be like, hey, you said we're not to save iterations in Unreal. What did you mean by that? He's just like, oh yeah, just use save all instead of save as. I was like, okay, cool, that's good.
Easy.
And I was just like, hey man, you mentioned that you want our good guys to be favoring their right as opposed to the left, and you want the bad guys favor left. What do you mean by that? He's just like, oh cool, just when you play blast your demo, have your camera angled this way as opposed to that way. He's like, okay, cool, perfect. Like I'm asking like questions about like we're gonna be expected of us.
Your actual job.
Yeah, class. Yeah. And the other guy's just like, hey man, why do you think Call of Duty is like a bad game? And the guy's just like, and he also said like, and I know you helped make Call of Duty, so like, I'm no offense. And the guy is like, no offense taken. He worked on Call of Duty. He's worked on several Call of Duties, but essentially he was kind of giving shit about it being like the games maybe don't have merit because essentially you just kind of reskin them and they're essentially the same game over and over.
I don't think that that's necessarily true, but
that was his. But again, that's
a pretty bold thing to say to somebody that worked on the game.
Yeah, I was like, cool. I was just like, let's hear what this guy has to say. And the guy did, he goes like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of first person shooters, but it was just a job that I worked on essentially. He's like, but I like these kinds of games and this type of games. Like the project that we're working on is essentially like a side scrolling adventure game, but it can also be 3D. It's essentially like you're an adventurer and you're fighting like monsters along the way, and it's like an homage to like games that this guy grew up with. I'm like, cool. So he's like telling us like because it's very customized, like as what he can do in the games. Like he's like, you can do whatever you want. He's like, but obviously you can't make this program into like a JRPG. Like it's not it's not gonna happen. It's just like you can't make it turn based. It's like just see what I have and then do whatever you want, but be realistic with what you're doing. I was like, cool. I had no intentions to make this a JRPG. I am absolutely gonna make it a visual novel though. But yeah, so class started. I have classes Mondays, Thursdays, so it shouldn't affect the pod. And I'm excited. It's gonna be good.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh.
I'm stoked. That's so weird though that they just kind of brushed over you being like, hey, yeah, no video games, but I'm not like constantly up to date with it.
Yeah, I was like,
and then they're like, this guy doesn't know anything. He's just like saying that so he doesn't get in trouble. And you're like, I'm being reserved.
Yeah.
So I don't look like an idiot.
Yeah. I don't want you to be talking about a video game and be like, sorry, I don't know what that. And like, you don't know about this. Like, I was just like, look, man, I'm just not very aware of all the video games. I've obviously played games.
Yeah.
But there's a huge blank.
You also have a lot of friends that play, like I brought this up last week too.
Yeah.
But like,
I was like, cool. Like if you said, hey, have you played Half-Life or Mass Effect? No, but I know of them, right?
Guess what, man? Not everyone has.
Yeah.
I haven't. I don't give a shit. I know of them too.
Have I played Portal? No, I know of it. I've like, shit like that. Like I'm aware of things. Like, but I'm not like, I wouldn't say like, yeah, man, I've played every game ever or like all the new gen stuff. I'm not on top of that stuff. But I know how a video game works. But it was really like Brutal Legends was a game where I was like, yeah, I know. I've seen the funny.
It's a hack and slash. Yeah, I get it.
He's got an axe, and it's also his guitar, shaped like an axe. Shit like that. But it should be good. I I will probably be showing you more work actually this semester than any semester because you play more video games. I would love your opinion. Be like, hey,
good.
How does this look for an idol? Like, what are your thoughts? Obviously you can't tell me probably like how to animate it, but you can give me your opinion as like
there are just certain things that feel more natural.
Exactly.
Since I'm familiar with playing a lot.
So I was talking like,
gotcha.
Probably to show you stuff or part low stuff because you guys play video games. So I was like, cool. What are your thoughts on this? And you could probably be like, it looks good or doesn't feel right. And then we can talk about what it feels, so this semester more than any, you'll probably be getting that. So
sweet. All right. I'll help you out. I'll do my best.
Yeah. Hope you're ready for that. My fucking grade.
I'll help you pass.
Yeah. You're like, I got this. Hey, actually, teacher, can I just bring my friend Trip in to do the Zoom class for me?
Because it takes a village.
Yeah. It's a team effort. So that's it. Man. That's all the stuff they've done.
That's your week?
I watched some anime. We could talk about that in a bit.
All right. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
What games have you played or beaten this week?
Okay, great question. Not really much. I played Returnal, and I haven't beaten it because it's
dumb.
Kind of. I hate how you beat it, actually. Well, let's just say that. I hate how you beat it.
Whoa.
So, Returnal's a game that is a roguelike, third-person shooter, bullet hell.
It's a lot of fun.
That's kind of how I would put it, I guess.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's visually very stimulating and appealing. The story is cryptic, but it gets more interesting the more you play it because you're able to find out more things and find all this information. But you're playing as a chick who crash landed on a planet and doesn't know why she's there. And then she dies and wakes up on that planet again. And she's like, what the fuck is happening? And she sees like bodies from her previous lives or other lives or whatever the fuck you want to call it. She finds audio logs that she had recorded and they don't sound like her thought process is so different.
Right.
So a lot of little cool things here and there. Thematically, it just looked rad. It sounded rad. It felt rad. And then the first half of the game, I guess it's not really the first half, but the first act of the game is get through these 3 areas, and then there's more to play after that. And then the second act of the game is way fucking harder than the first. It's pretty intense, but I was able to get through it and was like, cool, that was fun. And then it's like, all right, now Act 3. You just have to find items that randomly appear. They don't always appear, but sometimes they appear, and you have to find 6 of them. And then once you find those 6, you just go and do this part of the game that's like a new sequence you get to see. And then after that new sequence, you have to go and beat the game again. So literally, you're just doing one new sequence, you beat the game, and then you get a new finale. But no gameplay changes. Nothing else is different. There's just a random item here and there that you pick up that might not even appear.
Yeah.
And it made me really upset to find that out. So I don't think I'm going to finish it necessarily. You kind of play it here and there.
You're at that point where like, yeah, I'm good with it.
Because it's not like there's more challenge. It's not like there's actual like new story that I'm learning as I keep playing it, really. There's only a few things that I haven't gotten at this point. So what's the point of fucking continuing if it's going to be so pointless to end it that way? Yeah, I just feel like it's not a challenge. It's just some bullshit.
Yeah. It's like busy work, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's busy work. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to be challenged. I'm trying to learn more shit about this world.
They're not making it harder. They're just like, hey, go collect some stuff and then start again.
Yeah, it almost feels mindless, but it's tense at the same time.
Yeah, because it's hard. I played it and I was like, I think I played an hour and died. I was like, great, start over. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, so that was brutal. But yeah, I've just been playing that. I haven't been really playing much else, but right now the speedrunning event is going on.
Oh yeah.
So I've been watching some of that.
And Extra Life is what it's called?
Well, it's Summer Games Done Quick.
Yeah, that's the one.
Games Done Quick, yeah. The most interesting thing that I've seen so far, because I'm not able to watch everything, but I was like, oh yeah, let's watch a Paper Mario speedrun. Turns out there is a crazy Paper Mario speedrun. They explained how they found it. I still don't know how they found it, but here's what you do. You speed run a portion of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time put in an expansion pack. Once you get to a certain point, if you do everything right, you rip the game out, you put Paper Mario in there, and then it saves certain information to that pack that has like a small amount of RAM. I don't remember how much it is, but it has a little bit extra RAM in that pack to store information. And sometimes it resets it, sometimes it doesn't, but somehow they found out that it didn't reset the information when you put in Paper Mario, but you do reset the info when you put in Ocarina of Time. So anyways, dude speedran Ocarina of Time in a weird way, did a bunch of weird manipulation and got something to do the thing it needed. Then he slams in Paper Mario. He plays through to a certain point, does a little bit of like weird janky movement, and then was able to do the thing he wanted to do, quickly turn the game off and on. Like essentially what he did is he smashed his hammer down like 80 something times in a specific area while a menu was open or something like that. I don't remember specifically. And then he slowly walked over to a tree and then like slowly walked somewhere else and just stood there for another 60 seconds and was just like, yeah, no, we just kind of wait here and then hopefully I'll do it right. And then at this exact time, I'll be able to jump and then turn on the game off and turn it back on. And then that will be time, essentially. So get ready for that. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He just went through, fought like the first little mini boss.
Yeah.
And then did a bunch of bullshit, turned it off and on, went to his save file again. It changed his save file information to being saved at the very, very end of the game, so right at the credits.
So he got an end screen.
Yeah, so he turns it back on, goes into his file, and then it starts playing the end animation. And he's like, that's time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
I didn't know all the details. I do remember someone telling me about this. It might have even been you, but this wild thing that happened. I remember it being like,
well, there's some Mario
one
stuff.
game and then you put another game in. And
yeah, there was. I think it's a Final Fantasy thing.
That's nuts.
It's from NES. I think was the speed run that they did.
But I think
this is the same situation.
I think your question's the one that really, that the question of like how
the fuck,
like why did you
and they
think
kind of
this?
Explained it, but not in a way that helped me understand how somebody can figure out that these games store information on this thing, and sometimes it works this way and sometimes it works that way, and then you manipulate it in a way to where you can store that specific value that leads to the end of the game. Like, what's the fuck?
What was the time? How long did that take him?
Like 25 minutes.
That's
It was crazy. The estimated time was 50 minutes. And I was like, that's crazy. Let's see this happen. And he was like, didn't have it because it's so easy to mess up. Mm-hmm. He would have had to redo it again. Just on Paper Mario, not on Ocarina of Time.
Because you already had to save data on the thing.
Yeah, he used the rest of the time to show off some glitches in the game, which is always fun. Like making his partners tiny and going underground, like treating the ground as water and like going under the ground and stuff and avoiding enemies.
You think there's like people who work on these games and watch these speedruns and they go, fuck. They're like, I can't believe they did this.
There are some developers that do feel that way. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh man, I didn't make it.
Try to hide that so well. Yeah. And then
and then other people are like, hey man, good for you. Like, way to exploit it. Nobody else is going to figure that shit out. Like,
they're like, hey man, it's like, hey dude, I shipped that shit 20 years ago. I don't even fucking care anymore.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. It's the people that are like, now that we have this technology to exploit weird old bullshit data.
Yeah.
Like, every time. So yeah, that was interesting to watch.
That is really wild. Like, yo, dude, watch me beat this Pac-Man speedrun. I had to play, the first part of Glover, and then I fucking play Pac-Man. I can beat it.
That's just the way it goes.
That's
man.
so weird.
Speedrunning these days.
Strange thing. That is interesting, though.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I just thought I was going to watch a regular ass Paper Mario.
You were in for a treat.
Oh man, that was wild.
That's dope.
Yeah, I had a really fun time with that. And also, I watched a pretty fun stream. You know how right now the meta on Twitch has switched over to gambling?
No, I did not know that. People are gambling real money?
Gambling real money. They're
online
being sponsored, and they're not playing with their money, but they're playing with sponsored money and stuff like that. And they're doing online poker. And it's a controversy right now because, of course, gambling isn't a good thing to do.
Is it against the rules on Twitch?
No.
Okay.
Gambling's fine. But yeah, of course, it's like gamble responsibly is kind of the whole message. Yeah. But because so many people are being sponsored and they're not using their own money, it's hard to show, exactly what gambling is to a lot of
how dangerous it can
kids
actually
that can be influenced and whatnot. Anyways, I watched a gambling stream and I watched Pay Money While We Do It, starting out with 10K. And then he didn't really care if he lost it. I mean, of course he cared if he lost it.
But it's not his money.
It is his money.
It's actually his money.
Yeah. He thinks it's bullshit that people
are getting
do it sponsored. He's like, I gamble for fun, for me, so I'm doing that. So they did a bunch of like, started out with blackjack, went over to some slots, and like did some other like stuff, went to roulette, a bunch of different things, and then spent a lot on slots. Wound up getting the like jackpot event on one of them. Mm-hmm. It was a green knight game. When you get a green knight, or when you get 3 green knights, it turns into like a special mini game where all these animations are going off, and it's like, all right, you just need to get 2 green knights, and then if you get the 2 in this zone, you get a ton of fucking money, and if you get more, you get even more. And for all 5 of them, he didn't get a single green knight. Or he didn't get more than a single green knight, so he lost a bunch of money on that. Then he went back to blackjack and he tried to make a bunch of money, and it looked fucking perfect. Everything was great. He had like 2 aces that he split and like did all this different stuff. He's like, it's got to be perfect. And then he had 2 20s, and he's like, I will win this unless she just pulls a blackjack right now. And immediately she gets a blackjack. The dealer gets a blackjack, and he loses all of his money. So he's like, fuck, I have to double down. He just loses it all in like 2 minutes and just ends the stream. And it was so fucking funny because it was so long, and it was like, oh man, we're winning so much money and all this good stuff's going on. And then he lost all of it on slots. Like, and then he's like, gotta make more money back. And then boom, boom, boom. All right, I'm out. So it was so funny. Such a good lesson.
So next week's podcast, we're just gonna be gambling on instead.
Yeah, we're just gonna do gamblings.
I don't know, man. You ever gambled at a casino?
No, I'm not that kind of person.
No, yeah, I've done it a couple times. It's fine. I can see that. Like, I don't think I have that. Like, some people have that, like that nature. Like, oh my god,
I've got like an addictive personality with game type stuff, for sure. And that's kind of what it is.
I don't think I do, because like I remember playing in Vegas for like my bachelor party or whatever. And I was like, oh cool, I lost $40. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but if it was my real money, I would not be having a good time at all.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I'm like, if I'm losing that money, I'm gonna want to get it back so fucking bad. I know myself.
I did have a buddy I was there with, and like you saw it. Like he was just like, dude, I just need to. I'm up like 20. I just need. And it's like, you need to settle down, dude. This is the first day here. You're gonna bet all. I was like, fucking put it all. I was like, no, let's go back to the room. Let's have some beers and settle down.
Yeah, no, I know how I would be. I would not be good.
That's good. Yeah, well,
I would still do it for fun if friends were all going or something and invited me, but I would not. I wouldn't
actively do it yourself. Like,
no, I would never seek it out.
Yeah,
it's not for me. But anyways, that was a fun.
That is pretty funny.
Time. Yeah. Just like Jesus Christ. And then I played Mario Kart last week on Friday. We're gonna do kind of like a weekly Mario Kart type thing. Is the kind of thing. It's been 2 weeks, and now we're going into our third where we're doing that, and it's been fun. But because I was playing that and having a great time with everyone and just having a blast while Anime Expo was going on, if it was something that I didn't need to like watch very closely or anything, or if it was in between shows and whatnot, then I was just playing some Mario Kart on my own time and trying to, because I realized when Mario Kart 8 came out on Wii U, played the fuck out of that, did everything in it, unlocked everything. It was fun. And then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is on the Switch. It comes with like all the characters unlocked, but it doesn't come with all the cars unlocked. And then I also learned that you can actually unlock a gold Mario and not just the metal Mario.
Okay. So like a metal Mario, but gold.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, more incentive for me to play the game solo and not just online.
To unlock that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I was doing 200cc stuff, which is, they added it when the DLC got added to Mario Kart 8. And holy fuck, that shit is ridiculous, man. It is so fast.
Okay, so the lower the CCs, the faster it is?
Lower, the slower.
The slower. So 200 is
fast. It's what's
normal?
Fast.
What's normal? What's the normal?
Well, there's 50, 100, 150.
Okay, I thought it was higher than that. That's what I was like.
50, 100, 150.
So just like super quick.
Mirror and then 200.
What's mirror?
Everything's swapped.
Oh,
so just to fuck with you.
Oh, hell no.
Completely fuck with you.
That.
It's fun. But yeah, doing 200cc, man, I forgot. It is so hard to turn corners at that speed. So what you have to do is you have to like take your hand off the gas. You have to like hop a couple of times using that momentum. You're not even trying to get any boosts. You're just trying not to die. Yeah, you're just like it's so stupid. So yeah, I have retrained myself to play poorly to deal with 200cc, and still it's also a lot of luck involved, and holy fuck, man, it was getting so frustrating to where you're just like, all right, I'm in first, boom, 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 all right, I'm in 10th, and it's over.
Yeah,
like great,
cool,
fucking awesome. Yeah, but that's pretty much all my games I've been playing. I did get really excited because today I learned I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson season 2 just came out. So I watched all of that and it was fantastic.
Okay.
Such a good show. It's just a sketch comedy show. It's really stupid and over the top. But during the first episode, I was like, yeah, I'm liking what's going on here. This is making me laugh a lot. There was a skit where it's usually just like one person who's doing something that's absolutely fucking absurd, and everyone else is pretty normal about it. And there was a like haunted house mansion tour thing, and this one guy is just like, "Hey, you ever fucking see the ghosts come through here like fucking fully naked and see like a fucking big old hairy fucking ball on one of the ghosts?" And then the guy's just like, all right, come on, we gotta go talk in the other rooms. Like, you have to be more judgmental with the things you say, man. You can't just say whatever you want. And he's like, is it because of the swearing? No, it's not because of the swearing. It's because of the content of
what you're saying.
Yeah. And he just goes back out there and he's like, crying. He's like, "Sue, I can't say it just because I ask if there's gonna be a fucking ghost that has like a big old little fucking horse cock cum." And he's crying while he's saying it. And this group of people like, what the fuck is wrong with him? It's such a stupid skit show, but it cracks me up. I mean, it starts out, the first skit is a guy who's getting ready to eat his really shitty looking hot dog. And somebody's like, hey, we're gonna go have a meeting here. And he's like, but it's lunchtime. And then she goes, yeah, I know, it sucks, but we got to have a meeting. He's like, but it's lunchtime. And he walks in the room with his arm out straight, and his hot dog is hanging in his jacket, in his arm. He like snuck it in there. He's trying to like slyly eat it while the meeting's going on.
Why would you just eat it? It's a hot dog.
Yeah, I know. It's really stupid. So then he chokes on it after not admitting that his hand was like over his face, and he was just like putting his face down on the table, eating it. He wouldn't admit it. He starts choking. It's so stupid. It's great. It's really stupid. I love stupid jokes so much. So everything was fantastic. Bob Odenkirk made a little cameo in it, which is always satisfying. But it's lunchtime.
Oh, did I tell you? Speaking of Bob Odenkirk, did I tell you I was rewatching
Better Call Saul?
Finished it.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I finished all of it that was on, I think it was on HBO, Hulu.
Okay.
Netflix?
Okay.
I finished all that I was able. I think it's Netflix. I watched all of it on Netflix.
Everything except for probably the latest season.
Season 5. I was like, cool. I was like, we're going to watch season 5. And I was just like,
isn't 5 not out? Isn't that the one that's about to come out?
No, season 6 is coming out. Season 5 is out. Have you not seen season 5?
No, I have.
Okay.
I just don't remember.
The most recent season 6. And I was just like, so I go to, the Just Watch app to see what's in. And like, hey, dude, you can either buy it on Apple TV or you can buy it, or you can stream it on something called Fubo TV. I was like, cool, get to stream Fubo,
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's a trial. Essentially, it's like a service that also has live television. So you can just cut your cable provider and just like, cool, you have all these access to all this live television. All you need to have is internet. So I was like, cool, I'll try it out. It's not super cheap, but I did the free trial, see if it's worth it. I do like it. It's nice, but I went there to go watch this season 5 of Better Call Saul. Like, we don't actually have that. And I was just like, come on, but man. Why?
Yeah.
But por qué, right?
Mm-hmm.
But por how, And so then I was like, you know what? Maybe I have to do something. So there's like hey, add AMC Premium for $4. I was like, okay, cool. I'll add it to the thing.
That's right, AMC.
So then I add it, and it's like, cool, Better Call Saul. And they have a bunch of like little skits of like Kim Wexler doing like bits about like the working for not Hamlin McGill, whatever the new company she's working for. It's it's called Employee Training with Kim Wexler. And I was like, this is what I want to watch. So I was like, fuck this. I'm going to email fucking Fubo TV. And I was like, hey, so want to know where can I watch Better Call Saul? I've been told that I can watch it, it's on here, like that it's streaming here, and it's clearly not. And the guy goes like, they get back to me like, hey, sorry to hear that. It's like, where did you see that it says you can stream it here? I was like, cool. So I pulled a screenshot from Just Watch. I also pulled a screenshot from their own website, and it says watch Better Call Saul here. And I was like, boom. And then he goes, oh, cool. Well, like, if you DVR it, if a rerun or a new episode comes up, I was like, yeah, but that's not what streaming is. That's not, you're lying to me, you know? And then obviously, you know, it's not no real point to get upset. I was mad that I can't watch this 5th season. And then the guy goes like, have you tried going to the AMC Plus, the AMC Premium, and then just typing in your Fubo TV information because you should have access to it. It's like, okay, cool. So I did that, and they go, I go to AMC Premium, I type in Better Call Saul, and they go, yeah, it's an extra $5. And I was like, no, I just added $5 over here. And they're like, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, man. You want to watch Better Call Saul? You gotta pay us $10.
At this point, you should have bought it.
I should just buy. I haven't bought it.
That sucks.
But I also didn't add on the AMC thing. And I was like, so far, my free trial thoughts like, cool. I'm upset that situation, but it does seem to work. It has all the channels that I want, except for Comedy Central, which sucks because that's where Adult Swim is on. So like, I still can't watch Rick and Morty.
Wait, what?
I don't.
Comedy Central?
No, sorry, Cartoon Network, which has Adult Swim.
Yeah.
It was a part of my previous cable package, and it got cut. And I was just like, cool, because the special left. And I was like, well, that sucks. That's the only reason I wanted that, you know, Adult Swim. And they go, sorry, suck a butt. And I was
Dude,
like,
what about Toonami?
Toonami's also on AMC, on that same channel. It just there's not a separate channel for it. It's just the one channel.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, what about that, man?
Toonami wants. Yeah. I had to log in with a like.
You gotta get it.
I'd have to log in with a I think Xfinity like information or whatever.
You gotta get it.
And then it goes, oh, cool, you're technically still not subscribed to Cartoon Network. I was like, go fuck yourself. So I have not gone watch Better Call Saul, but I do like Fubo TV.
What's the last season that you watched? That's the one where it ends with him being like
Saul Goodman. That's how that one ends.
And the next one is him just doing like a bunch of commercials and like selling.
Yeah, and then we have more stuff with the cartel.
I don't remember.
Well,
it's been a while, dude. It's been like 2 years.
Yeah, it has been. It has been a minute. Well, COVID did fuck up the production to push it back, but they did finish it, so it should be coming out now soon.
Maybe. I just don't remember. Yeah, because I remember all the way up through season 4, and then season 5 is completely blurry to me. But I remember binging it and like watching all of it. But
you've seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
So the way that one ends is,
well, I mean, don't spoil it.
So Better Call Saul dies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's true.
He dies in a fiery death.
That's true. He dies in the prequel. Yeah.
Yeah, and then fucking Kim Wexler goes to hell and sells her soul, and he gets to come back, and that's how he's in fucking Breaking Bad. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it later, I guess, because I am curious. I don't remember how.
I'll tell you because I was expecting the ending for that one for season 5 to be the ending of season 4, and I go, wait, there's another season.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, this season ends with Saul Goodman. I was like, okay, I remember that ending. I remember you telling me that. I remember you being like, hey man, we're there. We made it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. There's another season though.
It's in there.
And then the 6th and final season is supposed to be coming out soon. But yeah. So I've reluctantly been watching The Karate Kid instead.
Okay.
Fantastic. Even though I want to watch Better Call Saul.
So yeah, that's I guess what I've been up to this week.
Cool. Did you watch any anime that's not new anime?
Nothing that's not new. I almost started watching Chihaya Furu season 2.
Okay, that's the card one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I decided to not.
Just because
I was like, or I could just watch a bunch of speed running.
I thought you were going to say, or this Mario Kart's not going to run itself. You know?
No, just big stream life over here, baby.
I've watched, I think, a little over half of the first season of Mob Psycho. I've been rewatching that.
Nice.
Because I just got in a real Mob Psycho mood. I was like, dude, you know what I wanted to do was watch season 2, and I go. But I can't watch season 2 without giving season 1 its respects. You know,
go back and do. I mean, it's just 2 seasons.
Yeah,
anyways,
it is 2 seasons. It's not that many.
I feel you.
So and I'm also watching it dubbed for the first time because I originally watched it subbed. And I was like to check it out. The dub's not bad. Reagan's voice does kind of throw me off a little bit. But yeah, it's still.
Is it too like It's got something that you don't like, and I want to find what that element is.
Maybe you can watch a little bit of it. Maybe after this, it's on HBO. You can check it out.
Okay.
It's also the dub is also on Crunchyroll. So
yeah, look at that.
So yeah, I was like, HBO has season 1. I was like, why? I was like, oh, that's right. HBO does anime now. But yeah, season 1 and 2 are dubbed on Crunchyroll. But I like Mob Psycho, so I'm gonna finish it and then get around to watch season 2, and then maybe even watch the fucking Hot Spring special where they're stuck on the Forever Train.
I'll just watch the TV show or whatever.
Mugen Train. Yes, the live action one. We should watch that one.
Yeah.
We should watch that one in English. That's it, man. That's the anime I've been watching. Besides the Karate Kid and.
I mean, okay, so far with the new anime, I've only watched stuff on Crunchyroll right now, and
you love it.
pretty much everything is an isekai so far, or would be considered an isekai and is under the umbrella.
Okay.
But one of them, which we've talked about Peach earlier, Peach Boy Riverside.
Yeah.
That one is just a straight up fantasy, but I feel like people could say it's an isekai because that's kind of what people just do these days.
Yeah.
But then they might be like, actually, it is an isekai. You'll be like, God damn it.
You'll like episode
they might
2.
trick us.
Yeah, they tell you.
You know. But yeah, it's been okay so far. Nothing has been the worst. Just nothing has been great.
Well, last season we had some of the best shows ever, so it's gonna be hard.
There's a show about a love triangle.
Oh yeah.
But instead of it being a normal thing, it's like hey, I'm dating this girl that I've wanted to date my whole life, and we're finally dating. And then this other chick comes up and is like, I have a crush on you, by the way. And he's like, who are you? She's like, oh, you don't know me. It's fine. And then he goes, but I really want to date you too.
What is that? Is that girlfriend?
Yeah. So hey, what do you think? What do you think the solution to this problem is?
Date both of them. Yeah.
But hang on.
Yeah, dude, give me some.
There you go. But hang on. Not only is it date both of them,
they date each other.
Kind of.
It's like
they get to know each other, but there's already a bath scene between the two girls in the first episode.
Way.
It's a very like, so
it's like the best anime ever.
He just like, hey, do you mind if I also date her though? Because
okay, so he's not being shady about it.
Well, he's being shitty about it, but not shady.
No, hold on. No, that's not what I said. I said he's not being shady about it.
And I said he's not being shady about it.
Okay,
but he is being shitty.
It's and what do they call that when it's like a
polyamorous?
Is that does that also mean that the two girls have to also date for that to be defined
not
as
necessarily?
That? Okay,
polyamory has all different forms, and this one is just it looks like it's going to be 4 people are all dating this guy,
dude. So it's like so it is the best anime ever.
Yeah. So far that is the outlier and everything else. And there's another show that I text you about, and I was like, this show kind of like. It's like, this feels fine. I didn't expect to like this. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, by the way, we're going like back in time 10 years.
I saw that.
And then I was
like, it was like, wow.
But then as I kept watching, I was like, oh, they're doing a good job. I don't know. I think I really like this, but I don't know. It just feels like a better relife. We'll get into that more next week.
Yeah. The week after that, actually.
Yeah. Next week is what I meant. Yeah.
I do have a question about this whole double girlfriend thing. Has it historically in a bunch of anime? It's always just like, hey, all the women like the one character, right? And then he's like, oh, but I really like this one girl, kind of thing. Do you think it's the first time we've seen it where he decides to just have all the girls? Is that like, is that new
actually
territory?
Dating? That's
pretty because even on like
pretty profound.
Even like Rent a Girlfriend almost was like, cool. He has the multiple girlfriends, but none of them are like, hey, we're a solid thing. Even his Rent-A-Girlfriend isn't a real thing, even though they both love each other.
I liked Rent-A-Girlfriend. That was some good trash.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It wasn't like, absolutely.
This feels like it's much more trash than that. But it also feels, that's the thing, though, is that all these shows that I've seen so far have some merit in their animation or something. It's like, ooh, I like their eyes. And then I go on to the next show, and I'm like, fuck, I like their eyes a lot too. Why does this keep happening? How do they keep like revolutionizing eyes in anime? They keep doing it. Eyes keep looking great. I don't really care about the rest of it. I guess that's the real thing where I'm just like, nice good eyes in my notes. Like every single show, it's just like really solid eyes.
So Trips, what's this one? It's like, this one has the good eyes in it.
This is one of the ones with good eyes. Yeah, for sure has good eyes.
I want you, because to me, when we do our preview, I want you to definitively tell me which one has the best eyes. I want to know.
Okay, well, and finally, I did watch some anime from last season that we hadn't finished.
Oh shit, Shadow House. I didn't fucking watch it. How was it? Did they fuck it up?
It was fine. I don't know why. Everyone online was like, "Oh, they fucked it up." And I'm like, I mean, maybe.
Is it residual hate for Cloverworks now? Like,
it's just kind of like things worked out in the main character's favor, and it was like also there's a little something else going on, and the little something else might be what people are upset about, or they might be upset that this thing was resolved in its own way so quickly. But it sounds like it was different from the manga, the way that the problems were resolved. It did have some stupid shit that you kind of had to suspend your disbelief. Or I don't know, man. It was good though. I had a good time.
Do you think the way they set it up? Obviously, we don't know, but season DOS, is that a thing in the future, or you don't think so?
Yeah, it definitely feels like they set it up for more in the future. It didn't feel like it was an end at all. It felt like it was a
mid-season break.
We're in the middle of this problem right now.
Yeah.
And it like didn't even end the Edward story arc. It just kind of like resolved this one.
It's still a problem.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, I'll watch it, yeah.
But yeah, there's some different like social hierarchy things going on with it. And it was just done in a way that I guess people weren't happy with. But I was fine. It was fine. I
forgot that one. So that one needs to finish. But To Your Eternity and My Hero still running.
Yeah, but they both skipped a week.
Okay, good.
So you're not behind on those either. Yeah. Kyle kept being like, isn't there like, don't we have more My Hero? And I'm like, no, man, we don't have more My Hero. And then I went and looked. I'm like, see, there's no
nothing.
More My Hero, man.
Why would I lie to you, Kyle?
What did I see? Why did I think of that? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know, man. Crunchyroll, dude. Like, I don't have much else to say other than Crunchyroll, my guy.
Yeah,
because Crunchyroll does it. They do what they do.
They do it best than anybody else, bro. Powerhouse of Anime. Shout out to Funimation.
Do you watching Crunchyroll now? Do you notice that there is like every once in a while, half of the screen gets fully pixelated for like 1 second?
What? No.
Okay.
What are you watching it on?
PS5.
Maybe the PS5 is broken.
It's the PS5 version of it. People have complained about it, but I wasn't sure because a lot of complaints are like, oh yeah, the Crunchyroll beta and whatnot sucks because they forced everyone to switch to beta.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the way I do Crunchyroll is like the Amazon app that's on my smart TV. I don't know if that's the beta look, but I know my phone for sure. Whenever I have to stream it, like when I'm upstairs, has the beta look to it, and that one doesn't give me any issues. Besides the issue of not wanting to start from the fucking start of the episode, but I still don't understand why that fucking fixed.
Dude, I don't know. I've been having a hard time with the apps this season. Funimation, it's a lot harder to find the shit that you want to find.
It's hard to find.
It's a lot harder than it used to be, though.
What? Okay, no, I agree. I do agree. I did open up my Funimation app to go find like what's in this season. I was like, where the fuck's the search bar? And I was just like, what? No, why isn't this working? Yeah, it's but I got it.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do to make sure that neither of us miss any shows. I just keep going to Reddit and keep like looking at all the conversation threads and seeing what streaming services they're on.
Yeah.
If it's on Crunchyroll, if it's on Funimation, if it's on HiDive, if it's on Amazon, if it's on any of the other things that we don't have in the US. And for the most part, it's been no streams available.
No streams available.
I got there are a lot of shows we can't even watch.
2 things on my Funimation thing. One thing popped up and it was like, hey, this is a for sure new show this season. And I said, add it to queue, but there were no videos. They had no first episode.
Funimation?
Yeah.
Is it the brother thing?
I think so.
My brother taught me some shit.
I think that's the one. Yeah. I was just like, why aren't there any episodes? I'll add it to the queue. Another one was just a blank. It's a blank. It was blank.
Yeah.
It was just grayed out, and I click on it, and it sent me to a page, and there's nothing there. I go, is this an anime that's coming out this season?
Dude.
Come on, man. If I add it to my queue, will it destroy my game? You know, will all my save files go to shit?
Good.
Yeah. So, but
yeah. Anyways, that's my anime man. My anime experience of the week. Hey, anime news.
Let's do it.
Seems like a good time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Pretty big news came out today.
Oh my god. I know exactly what you're
sorry to peek the mic.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Some shit. Yeah, so pretty big news. What do you want to say about it?
Let's start with maybe a sequel that was announced that everybody wants to watch.
Yeah, Vinland Saga season 2 has been announced. Not necessarily a sequel, but the actual story.
The beginning.
Because if you've seen Vinland Saga, it starts out and it's just like, yeah, this is Vinland Saga, and you're like, all right. And then it's like, yeah, this is a prologue. And you're like, okay, cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then 24 episodes later, it's like, prologue over. And it like literally says something like that. Like,
start game now. Yeah.
End of the prologue.
Yeah. No,
what the hell?
I haven't seen it. I did see the news for this. I was like, cool, I'll go watch Vinland Saga, which was my goal. Yeah. And I was just like, all right, where can I watch this bitch dubbed? You know, nowhere. Because it's a fucking Amazon Prime, and they refuse to dub anything. I was like, God, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and read it like a big boy.
Yep. Well,
but I do want to, because even though I know how it ends with the whole, you know, with my favorite word in the world, and you know the end of prologue, which I'm still really excited to just get to that point and experience that. But it's like, fuck, I know Vinland Saga 2's good. It's got wit, dude. It's wit, boy. So I'm excited for Vinland Saga 2, even though I haven't seen Vinland Saga 1.
Dude, I am with you there. I am excited about it, even though you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Also, Chainsaw Man's anime adaptation has created a new branch of MAPPA that's going to focus on a healthier work life.
Good.
Like a better work ethic in general. And they're going to make improvements overall through MAPPA because there's been so much work lately that has been fantastic from MAPPA. People are like, they're the best.
They're really good.
And because of that, it's been more and more exposed that they actually have the worst fucking work culture.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to be take that Pixar standard of like, hey, we want to treat you guys really nice and stuff like that, you know? Because I've heard Pixar treats their people really good, and MAPPA's at that point where like they're really like pumping out really good shit. I usually don't watch the trailers of things, right? Like like the teaser trailers of things because I just want to watch it, you know, when it comes out or whatever. But I did see the Chainsaw Man when I was like, what the fuck? I was like, who is this? I was like, oh my god, it's MAPPA, and it looks,
they're killing it,
fucking great. And
good.
I saw a lot of people complain about it, like oh, they're sexualizing all these people. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what Chainsaw Man is. Maybe it is a sexy show. Maybe it's supposed to be sexy.
It's violent, it's sexy, whatever.
But it looks really good. And I go, MAPPA's for sure is like steadily becoming a very like,
they're a powerful company, yeah,
dude. Like, you know, remember how nervous we were for the final season of Attack on Titan with MAPPA, and I was just like, dude, how
it hasn't even been that long since then, and they've delivered and delivered.
But I remember
delivered.
being like, oh man, I don't want it to leave Wit. Wit's so good, you know, like, and they are. Wit's great, right?
But then they were able to follow through and just crush it. And we're like, wow. And then they had other shows going on like at the same time, and the next season that
I almost can't imagine what it would look like if Wit did season 4. Like, it almost feels like it was meant to be, and I'm so excited.
It was such a good point to switch as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, with the time jump and stuff like that. Yeah,
that was pretty positive news. Since you brought up Pixar, though, I do have a question. Yeah. Have you seen ads for the new Monsters Inc. show?
Yeah.
Is that like the same thing as airplanes or planes or whatever the fuck, where it takes a Disney IP, a Pixar IP, and it just gives it to some like rando company?
I know, because I think isn't Pixar still involved with it, or is it somebody else?
Really? Is Pixar making it? That's what I'm asking.
I think so. I have, all I know is that they're doing that it's going to be a Disney Plus exclusive. And it's a television show. It's not a movie. It's not shorts. It's supposed to be like a TV show. But I think it is actually Pixar. If it is the whole planes deal, I would be really bummed.
That's what I don't know. I'm afraid to watch it.
But it is fairly new and just recently announced. They also saw a new trailer for another thing. God, Pixar is making so much shit right now. It's crazy.
I know. I was surprised Luca came out so quick, but it also had a very different not art style necessarily, but like they did more cartoonish facial animations.
You know what it reminded me a lot of? It reminded me of kind of like Wallace and Gromit, like the Chicken Run, like their way.
I could see that. Yeah,
obviously not the claymation,
kind of like Sunday cartoons. You know, little like cartoon strips and stuff.
Like a Charlie Brown shit like that. Yeah, Peanuts.
Something about it had that vibe.
It was good. I really liked it.
With also Pixar vibe. It was a good movie. Yeah. Anyways, more news. Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.01 Thrice Upon a Time is coming out on Amazon Prime Video on August 13th. In most countries, except for Japan and others, but 240 countries, whatever.
It was, I want to try to get this right. It is Evangelion 3.5 plus 1.2? Mm-mm. Evangelion 3.5 plus wasn't 3.5?
No.
Is it Evangelion 3 plus 1.5?
Nah, man.
What was it?
It's Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.01 Thrice Upon a Time.
Thrice Upon a Time. That is what a mouthful. Like, what?
I didn't think so.
Fuck you. Especially the part that really got me was the Thrice Upon a Time.
I know. You're like, all right, 3.0 plus 1.01. What the fuck?
Why not just be
Thrice Upon a Time? Stop talking!
Yeah, why not just be, hey, this is Evangelion 4. This is Evangelion 5. Like, no. We had to make it absurd.
We got this.
I don't know. I have no idea what that is. What is that?
It's the latest Evangelion.
I'm so excited. Thrice Upon a Time. They're making shit up.
I know. I love it. It's such a good name. Oh my god.
3.0 plus 1. Thrice Upon a Time.
Hey man, on another month's 13th, this month's 13th, July 13th, there's going to be a special Demon Slayer stream that's going to announce more information about season 2.
Dope. I heard that Demon Slayer, that manga finished, and they're doing a spin-off. I don't know if, did you hear about this?
No.
They're doing a spin-off of the manga, and the premise is that has all the characters from that world, but now they're all in middle school.
All right, so
You're not excited for that?
Sk8 the Infinity is going to have
Jesus.
2 stage plays,
Wow, one wasn't enough, huh?
as well as a new anime project, Sk8 the Infinity. I did not expect this at all, and I am so stoked that they're making stage plays of like a skateboard. I don't know, man. I feel like it's going to be like that back when it was like early YouTube. There were all these kinds of clips of a Japanese game show where people would wear like black suits and hold props.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, I feel like that's the kind of shit that they're going to have to do.
Ping pong. Yeah.
They're going to have to do that in order to do some of the skateboarding shit because the show is nuts.
Well, for a second, I forgot that Sk8 the Infinity was skateboarding and not rollerblading. Because I'm like, cool. I was like, they're going to do Sk8 the Infinity, but on ice. But they can't do that. But they could do Sk8 the Infinity with rollerblades and then be like, yeah, cool. It's a whole different thing. Dude, that's cool, I guess. I mean, we still have not been blessed with the ability to watch a stage play.
Yeah, no.
One day, though.
Actually, I don't remember if it was Crunchyroll Expo or Anime Expo Lite last year, but I do remember watching a presentation. It was like a PowerPoint somebody had about stage play adaptations.
Yeah, no, I think that was Crunchyroll.
And that was really interesting because that was the only time that I got to see clips of like Yuri on Ice and My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
You know, like weird ass stage plays.
Those.
Yeah, that was super exciting. So that's the news I have for you, anyways.
That's some good news, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, Anime Expo Lite 2021. It's time. We've been putting it off a little bit because honestly, I don't have a ton to say.
It's gonna be short. Yeah.
Very short talk about it, and I don't know. Our intention, my intention at least, was to just stream it on Twitch while I was watching it, and then very quickly I realized since I had been putting off registering, a $5 fee was required, and they changed it, so you can't just watch it on YouTube and Twitch, Facebook, and all the other places that they hosted it previously. Instead, you go to a different website that is specifically made to host multiple streams and have like a whole cool formatting thing. It was like a really cool concept, and it didn't work out for me.
No.
It was a little bit messy after the first hour.
Did you use this on your computer? Or,
yeah.
I used it on my phone.
I bet it was way worse
for you.
It was
horrible. It was like I was asking you, like, hey, man, how are you seeing this? And you're like, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like, I called you.
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I called you. I was like, hey, man, what's your shit look like? And you go, what? You go,
I'm like, it looks like a bunch of boxes for me.
Yeah, and I was like, look, man, I'm doing, because like the first time I did Anime Expo, I remember doing the on my phone because that's how that's a lot of people watch stuff. Like, I'll do it on my phone. It's right here. It's on, so I wanted to try that also. And then you're like, hey, man, did you download the app? I was like, oh, they have an app. That's right. And then the app made it a little bit better. But then the app also then just kicks me over to this fucking streaming thing. This Ticker, what is it called?
Tixer.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And maybe, it's our bad for waiting to register for so long. But the reason I didn't think registering was important was because last year was like register and it was free. Mm-hmm. This year was, it was a $5 ticket that was donated to something about hate, like something something about against hate.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, that's good. I'm glad they're donating the money. And the money's not a big issue. $5 is fine.
I think hate is a virus.
That's it. Hate is a virus. Yeah. And I was like, that's cool. I'm glad they're giving that money. It's like, but I would have really liked, maybe like an information blast where like it would be like, hey, dude, Anime Expo Lite is coming out, and guess what? We're donating this money to it's gonna be $5. And I was like, I don't feel like I heard any of that. It was just a bunch of, hey, have you registered yet? No, I didn't register yet. All right, cool. We should probably register. And we did. And I was like, fuck. We don't know anything that's happening.
But anyways, when it got down to it, essentially you had 2 different channels. Mm-hmm. You had the main channel and the side channel. The main channel was supposed to have the like more important announcements and shit, and then the side channel was supposed to have more like fan-based fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then they also had like a third channel, which wasn't actually a third channel. Instead, there were pre-recorded videos that suddenly became available to view at certain times.
Like this plays at 2, this plays at 3, this plays at 4 kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then there was also...
And they expired. You couldn't watch them after the fact, like much longer after the fact.
But also like the topics that they had weren't also like topics that I feel like were merited being on like channel 1, right? Like,
yeah. No, it was much more like, hey, as a fan base, we're going to learn how to dance.
Yeah.
It was like that.
They also did concerts, and like you had to buy a ticket for $27 for some sort of concert.
Yeah, I wasn't going to
I'm like, I'm not paying.
It would have been cool because
music.
It was better than everything else, probably.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to pay money like for that for like a show that I knew I probably wouldn't like really enjoy. But yeah, so that's kind of what it boiled down to. I remember it being kind of hard to see what was happening unless I went to the app and like I scrolled through like what was being aired, and it did clearly tell you like, hey, day 1, day 2. My thing was like, I remember reading an email somewhere saying like, hey, you get your ticket, you're registered. There'll be the 3rd and the 4th, and then after that there will be VODs. Not everything will have a VOD, but a lot of things will have VODs, and you'll have access to it. And I think until the 16th, which is pretty long. I was like, oh, that's a nice thing or whatever. But it started Monday at noon. So Monday at noon, I go, okay, cool. I'm gonna go find these VODs. There wasn't a section for the VODs. Like I get on my phone, I was like, where the fuck do I go? I'm trying to find these fucking VODs, and then I okay, I'll email the people like, hey guys, because they're like, hey, I was like, where do I find the VODs? And then by the time before sent the email, I look at it again. And then I just hit a channel 1, hit play, popped up. I go, okay, cool. I was like, I found it. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I feel like everything on channel 1 and 2, almost all of them had VODs, honestly. Like I was just like, okay, good. Now I got to figure out which ones are worth, rewatching. There weren't many that were worth rewatching.
And at this point, it's been well over a year since people have had to try to figure out what they can do from the inside of their homes. And there have been some pretty interesting experiences as far as different events go and whatnot. Like started out, I had done some like online Zoom type classes before at that point. But then we got to a point where you could tell people have been doing this for a while. They put a lot more into their presentations. Yeah. They worked really hard on making like an active communication type thing. And that there's just so much more that people can do, even if they're not used to using computers and streaming as a platform.
Right, yeah.
And then go even further. There was a kick-ass concert that I absolutely fucking loved that happened during a pandemic. Everybody got to use their phone or go online on their computer in some way. Yeah, their tablets, their whatever. And they got an avatar. They got to walk around a big area, go to these different places to watch the concert.
Right.
Which were essentially the same music playing everywhere, but it had different rooms to appreciate it in. Similar things could have been done for this that would have brought like the real community feeling back to Anime Expo, because watching this, I didn't have any sense of community at all. I went into it like fully devoted to, I'm just going to watch Anime Expo. It could be a better time this year. They've clearly had a lot of time to make changes. I don't know what it's going to be like. It wasn't spectacular.
And you know what? I will say, I feel like, things did improve. But I think them moving to that service like really did kind of change the vibe. I think Crunchyroll Lite last year, what they did was they had their YouTube stream, their like Twitch stream, and like their stream on just the Crunchyroll site. And I really liked that format.
Oh, right? Yeah, Crunchyroll did a pretty good job.
So I was like, I was hoping maybe Anime Expo would take kind of like a note out of their book, like, cool, we'll do something like that. But the way that this setup felt, it just didn't feel as, I don't know, accessible, maybe that's the word, because there were still a lot of people in the chat being like, how do I get to channel 2? How do I get to, and it's like,
but it was still a Twitch chat, so there were the still same Twitch commands and everything like that. So the moderators would be in there and they would be removing comments and they would be helping people to ask those kinds of questions, like, hey, here's a link to the second channel, and then they would do like !channel 2. And
but the chat was on fire in so many places that it was like super hard to read. Last year the chat was also super fast. This year it was fast, and then there was also this similar issue of like certain, I don't know, what do you call them, like
fan
communities, like populating the chats and like almost kind of being obnoxious, honestly.
Oh, totally. So last year, since it was all just free to everybody, you're not going to be able to read anything. It's all going by so fast.
Crazy.
It's whatever. This, you had to pay for it. So you would expect there to be more people wanting to have conversations about stuff in some capacity. Maybe at like the best, that's the situation. But no, it was like just an even shittier version of chat, because instead of it passing by so fast that you can't see anything, it was passing by pretty quickly, but you consistently saw people saying some fucking bullshit like, when is this thing going on? I'm here for this. And it's like, great, that's in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And there's another presentation happening on this thing right now.
Yeah.
If there was a hangout room to go and like, those fans can go and talk about shit. If there were different hangout rooms, that would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be very rad.
Yeah. Last year was an issue of the JoJo fans being like, when's JoJo? And it's like, literally at 8:00 at night, dude. It's like noon.
You think that was a last year problem? Bro, that's a lifetime problem.
I'm saying that was last. I mean, that was
this year too.
that was last AX. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, this AX.
It's crazy.
It was the Obey Me and the HoloLive guys
and JoJo.
JoJo was back too, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Was it even a JoJo thing? There was a JoJo thing.
Yeah, there
right?
was. It was so funny because they were like, hey, JoJo thing's going to be this time. Get hyped for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then people got hyped for hours. And then when it happened, I stopped seeing all the JoJo fans in the chat.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, hey, what's up with the JoJo thing? Did that already happen? And another person replies, it was nothing. They didn't announce anything.
Yeah.
There's going to be a stream on August whatever that announces the information we were hoping for.
Okay.
So
another issue of just AX in general was that, I mean, at least this AX was, there weren't any real big announcements or any real big premieres or anything. And
there was one big announcement.
Yeah. Okay. But you know, when we go to Anime Expo, we're excited to hear all the announcements that happen. Like we're talking about really Anime Expo, right? Anime Expo Lite last year, they're like, okay, cool. We have stuff. But this year really didn't have like more than the one, right?
It felt less significant than last year's for sure.
It in every sense of the word, it absolutely felt light. You know, like it was just like cool. Like it's not really providing that shock value. Like, oh my god, this thing just got dropped, or it's gonna be dropped. This like. At no point was I super hyped about something like that, how I felt in the past or in other things. Also, there weren't too many like, hey, the premiere of this is happening. Even though I think Crunchyroll does that more when they did their expo. They're like, premiere of this show. But then you just mentioned to me, like, dude, that show drops in a week anyway. So like they're showing the first episode.
So they were doing Sunny Boy episodes 1 through 3. And I was like, yeah. Never mind. I don't care. It's about to come out anyway.
It's out. Yeah. Episode 1's it's out now, right? Literally. So that's just a thing. And I just don't think they'll ever really be able to like capture that feeling that you get when you go to a premiere of something that's no one else has seen virtually. So like I don't think that's their fault. It's just hard. It's like, it's hard to
there's a lot of this that was, you can't make it perfect for everybody.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of things that are like, but you could have done better.
You could have fixed that thing. Yeah. That's.
I mean, Anime Expo's always got different kinds of problems, whether you attend in person or it's an online event.
Yeah.
Whether it's the lines are fucking bonkers and nobody knows what's going on,
or you line up in the wrong spot and they're like, actually, you're supposed to be over there for an hour, you know, or you just can't get to where you wanted to be because it's crowded.
Yeah.
Or you bought the wrong ticket at the the drink place, and instead of having a super dope ass drink, you're having takoyaki again or whatever. And it's fine. I do miss AX. This AX Lite doesn't scratch the real thing, like that itch, But it is cool that they're trying, and that maybe next year everything will be better, and like we'll be having actual real live AX. I do think it would be cool. Again, I think I said this last time. If they continue this type of thing where they keep improving this, right? I think the money.
There's so much merit in this kind of a presentation
because like it's people out there putting their time to do this, and like obviously they're not getting paid a shit ton, right? Like and all this money that they did make was donated, so that's good. So like if in the future this can not just die with real AX is back, this is over. I would like to see this grow. I would like to see it improve, because it'd be nice, because there's not everybody can make it all the way to Los Angeles once a year for 3 or 4 days, right?
If
like
they offered an online alternative every year,
as long as it kept improving, and as long as they were able to do things, and as long as it's like reasonably priced, because like obviously seeing the premiere or something is probably worth some money. It's not worth the actual cost of admission at the real place if I'm going to do it from my home, 8, 10, 12 hours away or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this is just easier on my wallet.
Oh yeah, for sure, right? Like it's like
but in a lot of ways.
But it's still I'm still on them. I'm not giving up on AX Lite. I'm still not giving up on like Crunchyroll Lite for these virtual expos to.
Oh, there's no reason to give up on them.
They can only improve. I don't think this is a regression.
And honestly, I don't think it's Anime Expo's fault necessarily.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it has to do with a lot of the like the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure panel. They were like, Stone Ocean boys, we're talking about it, get hype. And then they were like, yeah, go see this in like a month.
Yeah.
And that feels shitty. And nobody likes that. And Anime Expo can't anticipate that they're going to have like a really bad panel that's the most hyped up panel. Like the first most hyped up panel.
Yeah.
There were a couple of HoloLive panels that people were really excited about. And this is the perfect format for the HoloLive panels, of course. Pay $5, you get a premium panel with all the English HoloLive girls, and they're all talking together in a group. It's great. They get to be asked some specific questions and answer them, and people loved it. It was fantastic.
Not for me.
Not for you.
I popped in for like a few minutes and I go, yeah, no, I'm out. Like it's not like she's like one of the HoloLive girls talking about like a bikini she had purchased or made for her avatar, and I was like, yep, don't care.
Yeah, no, at that point they were talking about their new outfits.
Yeah, I was like, I'm out of here. Yeah, but I get it. I understand that. Like, I don't like those things, or I don't like. Maybe I haven't seen the right ones, but I see the merit. People really enjoy them. Like,
to me, one of the HoloLive events was the highlight of Anime Expo Lite to me.
Okay.
Only because they were just talking about the things that they've experienced and missed during the pandemic about different expos that they've been into. Some people have been able to go to Anime Expo. There's one girl who lives in Germany, so she goes to all these European anime events and stuff, which is interesting. I liked hearing all of these people's different experiences and being able to relate it to like my own experiences. So it was just more nostalgic than anything. And that's it. It was just some people talking about stuff that made me feel good because I was like, yeah, I also like the things that I do when I'm there.
You're like, yeah, man, anime is fun. Yeah. Nice. We can talk about, I guess, because we're done talking about, I feel like, what AX was, right? We could talk about some of the things that we saw and then just kind of call it, right?
I mean, sure, yeah. I think the main ones to hit are JoJo's Bizarre Adventure event, which was, again, nothing. The HoloLive events, which were just like chill conversations, and they were like an hour each, so it's not like you got a whole lot of content there. But the fans were so stoked about it,
which is good. I mean, I'm glad that they got a kick at it. I couldn't follow it. Like the thing was so fast.
Oh yeah. And then finally, the Obey Me event. These are the three that we noticed were the most popular in chat. So maybe not most popular for everybody, but as far as the chat went, Obey Me, super popular. Didn't know what it was. Did you know what Obey Me is?
It was in some sort of game or whatever.
Well, did you know before?
No, I mean, I looked it up. I had to look up what Obey Me was.
Idea.
When I saw it, I kept seeing people, sometimes people write Obey Me or they just write Obey as a site.
I looked it up in the App Store and I was like, what's Obey Me?
Yeah, I was like, is that the clothing brand? What are you talking? Because there's a clothing brand called Obey. I was just like, is it a resurgence? Is this a weird marketing campaign that decided?
Dude, are you going to put a bulldog on your shirt? What's going to happen?
What's going on?
But no, Obey Me is it's a phone game, mobile app that you just talk to these hot dudes. And it's a gotcha thing, I think, maybe. I don't know. You just talk to hot dudes. So the Obey Me event was all of the different hot dude characters, which are like cool demons. Like one of them's named Lucifer and shit. So like, oh, it's edgy, you know?
Yeah.
That was the whole gimmick, I think, with Obey Me. They had the voice actors all talk and answer questions and stuff, which in theory, of course, fucking great. In actual practice, it was a bummer though, because it was a pretty fast-paced Q&A, and they just used an auto-translate for it, and they said straight up, hey, this is the auto-translator that we're using right now. If there are any mistakes or any weird things that happen when it's translating, super sorry. Like, we're just using this thing. And man, after the second sentence, it became... it's not keeping up. It doesn't know what they're saying because they're all talking at the same time and it's going too fast.
It's going nuts.
So it was, I watched that for a good 10 minutes.
And you're like, this is, it could have been more organized, I think, properly.
Which it was such a good idea. It did not work out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a shame. Maybe next year they'll get it. They'll figure it out if they want to do more HoloLive stuff with those people.
For Obey Me, specifically what they should have been doing is pre-record it.
Yeah.
If they pre-recorded it and then just had somebody translate it all, that would have been fine. But that's a little bit tough to do. But hey, man, if you're going to have an event, you need to make sure that you do it well.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, especially if one that's super hyped. Came out of nowhere. No fucking clue what that was.
I don't know what it was.
Channel 1, Channel 2, didn't matter what channel you were on. Their fucking shit was popping up like, hey, man, obey me. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What is this?
Hella rude. The chat being like, oh man, Jojo, Hollow Life. But obey me was bigger than both of those fan bases. It was crazy. Or louder, I guess, not bigger.
Yeah.
They were louder. But essentially, that came down to, it feels like you're at a concert and the people are like, boo, get off the stage, bring on the next band.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It was so stupid.
It's like, you're at a festival and you're counting, you want the main guy to perform and you're like, the opening act's like, yo, dude, sorry, I have to play my set real quick and then get out of here. It's like, dude, come on, chill out.
It was very disrespectful.
It's like, you know when it's going to start. It says it right there. It's just like, no, dude, I want it now. It's just like, well, you're just wasting your time.
Which is why they should have had chat rooms
for those people
to be like, yo, obey me fans, what's up? Like, I don't know. But AOL figured it out 30 years ago.
But do you think they'll actually like get together and talk, or it's just gonna be the obey me people just saying obey me over and over and over again?
That's the question, right?
That's the real question.
Age-old question.
Yeah.
But then out of everything at Anime Expo, those were the three most hyped up ones.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any of those took the show, though. I think that Star Wars kind of took the show this time.
Freaking nowhere. No, I mean, Star Wars is huge. Obviously, I mean, everybody knows what it is. But there was, I think it was a 30-minute like panel. Right?
Yeah, it was pretty short. It was one of the short ones.
It was 30 minutes. It was the Star Wars people talking about
the Star Wars people. We mean like Disney, Disney Star Wars, real ass motherfuckers.
LucasWorks, you know, like they're talking about their new project, which I hadn't heard anything about this.
Star Wars Visions,
which is essentially an anthology series with a bunch of different anime studios.
Imagine the Animatrix.
Yeah, with being able to tell their own story, however way they want.
Yeah. Which was fucking weird. And I had a conversation with old roommate Josh about this because he's such a big Star Wars fan. He's read like so many Star Wars books and stuff. He's pretty much consumed anything Star Wars that exists.
Okay.
So I was like, how do you feel about this anime Star Wars shit? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay,
no
cool.
Clue, yeah.
Well, it just happened, so I understand that. Like, literally right afterwards, I was like, you hear about this yet? I don't know how much.
He's like waking up from a nap. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, you got a new waifu. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I got you. But what it came down to is he just kept being like, well, Disney has such like a tight handle on things. Like, they must really trust these companies. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. There are 12 anime studios that are working on these or whatever. Yeah. And I don't know if they're all consistent in quality, man.
I don't know if you should trust all of them. There's some of them that were up there. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, fucking.
Yeah. Well, they started out and they were like, yeah, we got the people that worked on Ninja Batman. And, I was like, oh. And they're like, and we have Colorito. And I was like, whoa, Colorito. Okay, what's up? And they're like, Production IG. Yeah, okay, I could trust this.
Trigger.
And Studio Saru.
No, Science Saru. I was like, dude, I was like, some of these are pretty dope. Some of them, I don't know.
I'm pretty excited.
I did really like because they were able.
They didn't show any animation, but they did show character designs and explain plot elements, like the overall story we'll expect.
I know that they had directors and producers and stuff. The person I enjoyed that they talked the most was like I think she helped translate everything. She was the only Japanese person that was there and then she was like, I had to talk to all these studios and what we wanted was for them to all kind of come together and like for us to meet and then, but that couldn't happen because of COVID. So I just had to like deal with it, through 3 different time zones. I was like, oh my God. And then she's like, and everybody's pipeline's different. So it's like, because like, obviously they're still checking what they get because they can X whatever they want. Right. Yeah. So it's just like, wow, what a fucking nightmare. Like all that shit coming your way and you go, how is this? And you go, I don't know. So there's a lot of work that went into this and it's supposed to be coming out pretty soon on Disney Plus. I'm excited. There is some really nice, artwork release again because there wasn't any real animation. But the panel though, the panel
man
gave birth to something that really kind of shocked me. Like I wasn't even watching the panel live, but you just texted me like, yo, dude. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I was like,
what the fuck was going on?
Yeah.
So when I was at Anime Expo a few years ago, I had the pleasure of seeing the final Hot Pepper Gaming thing that's ever happened, which was a little panel at Anime Expo, and they got to just talk about their shit. But one of the dudes, Vernon Shaw, he's the dude who works with Game Grumps on the video games that they make, like Dream Daddy and stuff. He was the guy who organized all that. He for as long as he could, tried to keep up the bit of calling it Anime Expo, and made sure to be like, oh yeah, I'm a big fan of anime, and just kept doing that the whole time until he slipped up and he's like, guys, I tried my hardest to make it all the way through. Who the fuck says anime? But I wanted to be that guy that fucking said it because it would be funny.
Very seriously, very proud of the way I'm saying this. It's like, okay, cool, just say it the way everybody else says it.
But it was so funny. Yeah, so we're all anime fans here. We get that in Japan, you pronounce it anime.
It's a different language.
Yeah, of course. But Disney created their own Star Wars language, I guess.
Yeah.
It's called anime.
Anime.
They said anime so many times. And it was like the whole chat was blowing up, like question marks all over. It's like, anime? People like quoting like anime. It's so stupid.
It started off with like, because they had a host, and she said not anime, not anime, right? She said it the way the dude from the Hot Pepper Gaming said it. She said it like that, and then very quickly said anime. And I was like, okay, cool. That's how I say it. It's fine. I'm not gonna like shit on you. But when you heard the Disney people say anime, I was just like, what? Like it really did sideswipe you. I was like, is this really going on? And they just kept doing it. It felt like one of them asked the other one, like, how do you say this word? And they're like, this is how you say it. And they all like had like a CC'd in an email, like, hey guys, this is how we say this word.
Well, that's the thing. It's Disney.
Yeah.
It's fucking Disney. They've been working on this shit for so long. How have they not talked about how to say it? How have they not talked about Anime Expo?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, beforehand, they must have had a conversation.
No, yeah.
We have to be on the same page,
We're all going to say it like this.
We're all going to say it very clearly the same way.
My joke is I think that they purposely invented this word to trademark it.
Yeah.
That way it's like, hey, man, we don't make anime here at Disney. We make anime. And they go, okay, cool. What is that? It's like, well, legally, we can put on anything that we, it's Disney brand. It's called anime. And like, you owe us money if you say it. So I owe them a bunch of money. Obviously, that's not the solution. Obviously, it's just someone just saying it wrong. But it was very strange. It was really jarring. And the reason I knew that, like, it was for sure someone told them to say it like that was because today I decided to, like, I was on YouTube and I found it was the Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, it's like a little 3-minute overview.
3-minute clip, right? And it was produced from Star Wars, like from Disney. They dropped it out there. Like, cool. And they said the exact same stuff they said on the panel, but a lot faster, a lot more succinct. And they all still said anime. And I was just like, wow, they had to have this game plan in. Like, there's no way someone didn't, correct them and they all went with that. Because it was amazing how none of them fucked up. Maybe it's a bit. Maybe it's a bit.
How do you not accidentally say anime? Like, that's clearly how they've been told it's pronounced, and they just learned it. Anyways, that was the highlight of Anime Expo. Yeah. And honestly, everything else that happened, it was all fine. I watched a lot of stuff about like traditional Japanese clothing.
Yeah, watched the tea ceremony. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm, the tea ceremony was really cool. Some cosplay stuff.
Oh, you know what was really bad?
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah,
is it the Demon Slayer dance small movie?
I was not expecting you to talk about that yet, but yes, I did see that, and I stopped after like a few minutes. I felt uncomfortable.
I couldn't stop watching, and then I got to the point where like the bad guy with the hat did, and he's doing his Michael Jackson. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna lay down and put the volume really low and then go to sleep.
Yeah, it's kind of like a stage play. That's what we've been missing.
They did a performance. Like, cool. I thought it was just gonna be a dance performance, and then it goes Demon Slayer short film. I was just like, what is this?
Yeah, that's where I tuned out.
And then they started like they had different scenes and different things, and they had acting. I was just like, whoa, this is fucking horrible. Obviously, people worked really hard on that. They also did all the things to kind of protect us off COVID. They were wearing masks and stuff. Good on them. Good
cosplay.
Yeah, for sure. They did their best. I still think it was just not good. Like, in my opinion, this is pretty bad. It was
overall presentation, unfortunate.
No. I don't think that's what the world needed right now. So yeah, that was really bad. What do you think I was going to talk about?
I thought you were going to bring up
Crunchyroll dude.
No, I thought you were going to bring up the company that talks a lot about kimonos and stuff and how their audio was, because they had so much interesting stuff and I was really into it, but man, it was hard to listen to
it live?
Because it was just it wasn't live, but it was pre-recorded and they didn't fix the audio. What happened is it was all one output. So it was a stereo output that was just going to one side. So it was all on your left ear.
And everybody just on that one side.
All they had to do was turn that audio to mono.
Yeah.
It was like such an easy fix, but you have to be active on it. And that's the kind of stuff that they used for in between panels and shows and whatnot. So you couldn't really keep up with it in a positive way at all.
Damn, that's a
in
bummer.
order to, you have to have just somebody on there ready to go at all times. Because didn't seem worth it.
Yeah, it's like because Kimono is pretty dope, and especially if you could get like any more information. Like even like obviously I'm not a fan of tea, and I'm not like I know what tea ceremonies are, but seeing somebody like
cool.
someone explain, I was like, okay, cool, that's something of the culture to understand. And like they went to an actual place, and the guy was trying his best, and he's just like, hey, come on down if you ever get to Japan. They allow cosplays. Like, oh, that's really nice of them to like.
Which I was surprised about the whole cosplay thing, considering that tea ceremonies are
serious.
such a
like, but he was just like, it's like just let them know ahead of time, and he even said like, when Japan opens back up, please come through, because like obviously they want like tourism and stuff, and they're like, hey man, they're letting you come in, be respectful. I was like, that's super cool. What a nice advertisement. It wasn't like specifically like, hey, call this number, make this booking. It was more like, hey dude, like they will gladly have you and receive you and stuff like that. I was like, that's super dope. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, come and vibe.
The one thing I want to talk about, and I think it's the last thing I want to talk about, was the first thing that dropped on Anime Expo Channel 1 was the Crunchyroll panel, the Crunchyroll industry panel, right? And that's always like I feel like Crunchyroll industry panel, Aniplex of America are things that like always end up on like Anime Expo, or like we always see them, right? This one started, and I was like, cool, that's the first one. Crunchyroll, dope, let's do it. And the guy who did it is the guy who's
always the same guy.
The same guy. He does anime awards, and I'm not the biggest fan. I think he's just kind of, he's kind of cringy. I don't think he's that funny.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.
He's fine, yeah, but I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
But he starts the thing, and he starts talking about it. I was like, hey, welcome to Crunchyroll, blah, blah, all this stuff. And he's like, and then he goes like, you're probably asking yourself what Crunchyroll is. And I go, what? No,
Like,
and then
I need to
like,
leave.
And he's just like, so Crunchyroll is this. And he's like, it's a live stream. And like, he keeps explaining it. He's explaining what Crunchyroll is, how they got to where they are. And I text you, he's like, yo, dude, who the fuck doesn't know what Crunchyroll is at Anime Expo? Like, I was like, it felt like he was like, if someone wandered on there, like someone accidentally, like an old lady accidentally paid the $5 and actually ended up there.
I think that was it. They didn't know that it was going to be a $5 thing.
Like,
maybe
because it felt so strange. It's like, why are you explaining what Anime Expo is like, or telling me how to get to the website, or whatever? Like, it was just baffling. That shit like killed me. I was like, I cannot, like, it just felt really out of place. It felt like they pre-recorded it maybe, and then like they didn't know what it was gonna be like, and they just like, this is our video, just play this video.
Which I don't think it's necessarily Crunchyroll's fault.
No, it could be a lack of communication between Crunchyroll and AX.
That's kind of what it came down to.
So it did feel like Crunchyroll just fumbled, right? Like it's like, oh, they just kind of messed up, because it felt odd.
Yeah, of course, watching it, that's the way it feels. Yeah. But then if you look back at it and you're like, but why was it like that? Do that?
Because Crunchyroll, that seems like a silly mistake for them to make.
It was, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, but he did his
thing. There were
a
lot of different presentations that were all fine. Crunchyroll's was okay. It just, in general, there was a lack of production. It was quality.
The Crunchyroll stuff was also like, hey, check out this new show that's coming out. Here's a little trailer. And then I was like, okay, cool. Check out our merch store. Go to their merch store. Like, they even plugged their new anime. And I was like, their new podcast. I was like, oh, trip, it's done.
Yeah, we're done.
We're game over, dude. They got a fucking podcast.
Such a bummer.
I guess I lied, though. One other thing I want to talk about is your dope-ass drawing that you made.
Oh, right. Yeah, the beginning ceremony. So the way that this all worked out is Anime Expo has a beginning ceremony every single year. They always do something, cut a ribbon, you walk through, and then you go and you buy your garbage. But for this
your anime garbage, yeah.
Yeah. They decided to do the same thing as last year, and they wanted to have a Daruma, which you essentially, like, have a goal, and once that goal has been achieved, you're able to fill in the Daruma's eye.
The second eye,
Yeah, there's one eye that's left totally blank, and you could fill it in with your paint or whatever, do something special once you've achieved your goal. So that's the idea. They brought on some kind of a talented individual, a very seasoned manga anime man. I don't remember exactly what he worked on, but he's been in the biz for a long time.
Yeah, some like classic dude, some like super OG. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, they're like, here, please draw us the Daruma that we're gonna use for this year. So he did, and it was on a tablet, and it did not look good right away. I was so concerned. I was just like, what the fuck is going to happen? Are we just seeing an early sketch and he's going to like fully flesh this out? What's happening?
There's a rendered version on the other thing. It's just like, but he was drawing live or whatever, and it was on a Wacom tablet. And I don't think it was calibrated. Like it looked like it was just like super sketchy, super rough. And it was done, and like there it is, and the people like I was like, yeah, thank you so much for the, it looks great, or whatever.
But it was all live, so
and I was just like, hey Trip, because I was just now logging, and I was like, hey Trip, like, are we watching some dude draw like a Daruma or something? You're just like, yeah, dude, that's what's going on right now, and I was like,
yeah,
and then he said like, yo, pretty, like honestly, dude, it's pretty garbo, and I was just like, yeah, dude, you could draw that, and he goes like, yeah, and then you just send me a text. And it's just you drawing the Druid, and he goes like, dude, I did that off the dome. Like, you just copied it, rendered it perfectly.
I didn't, no reference picture or anything. It was just a couple of blobs, and that was it.
And I was like, dude, you fucking nailed it. I didn't even know it was a Druma. I thought it was something else. I really liked Drumas. I just knew he was drawing something. I was like, hey, is he drawing some sort of thing? And you're like, yeah, dude, watch me. And you killed it. So that was probably the best part of Anime Expo for me. And then it just was like, oh, whatever. It's fine.
And that's Anime Expo.
That's Anime Expo in a nutshell.
I mean, of course, there's a lot more we could talk about, but it's just not worth it. No. The experience was very lackluster, and it felt exhausting.
It was really tiring.
Day 2 was way harder than day 1. Day 1, I sat through it the entire time. Didn't really care about the after show dance party thing that they do.
I think, like we said, if they can get more premieres, if they can get it more exciting, that would be good. But
they can make it better for the community to feel like we're all able to connect with each other.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Do the Porter Robertson VR thing like that. That would be super cool. How hard could that be? Porter Robertson fucking set it up,
yeah.
Like in
musicians set it up. Why can't a giant company do it?
Like in Dingus, and has one good song. Shelter. That's the only good song he's ever made.
They should just hire him. He made Shelter. What the fuck? He was the Shelter guy. They could have just been like, yo, Shelter man, you want to help us out with the biggest anime event? He could have been like, oh, fuck yeah, let me hook you up with the right people.
He's like, I just did this whole VR concert thing, so yeah, you just have my save file. Just change the name a little bit.
Anime doesn't care.
Yeah. Well,
anyways, that's Anime Expo. That's the podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some better stuff next year. But it's okay.
I'm excited for Crunchyroll Expo though. I feel like Crunchyroll has more potential.
Well, I feel like they have the plus of seeing it happen after Anime Expo. Like even last year, Anime Expo Lite happened, then Crunchyroll happened. I was just like, cool. So they always can maybe take notes and like improve, because I personally just like the format of the Crunchyroll one better. Like the Twitch, YouTube, their own streaming stuff. Like feels good.
Hey Crunchyroll, if you're listening, which you're not, but if you are listening, just hit up Porter Robinson.
Yeah.
Get some feedback from him. I think that he probably had some pretty good ideas that he could have lended to the SPCGA.
The AX guys. So
SPCGA,
we'll be here for no matter how many times there's a Anime Expo Lite. I'm sure we'll cover it as long as it doesn't happen concurrently with the real AX. But yeah, that's it. That's AX Lite for 2021. Next week, what are we doing? We're doing
you said Resident Evil.
Which is
we're doing Resident Evil. It's there's a new Netflix anime coming out about Resident Evil bullshit.
It's going to
be possibly good, possibly bad. I don't know. No judgment until it comes out, but it's on Netflix, so
total judgment. Okay, so that's it. If you like our theme song, check out Not Mars on Spotify. Triple can find us.
Facebook, look up the Instagram podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram podcast. If you want to send us a tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast benefit.
And you can shoot us an email, instagrampodcast@gmail.com. And we stream every single week around 9-ish p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/Crispather. And if you want to know all the anime that we've seen, you can go down in the description. There's a little link to a Google Doc.
Yeah, go check it out.
Our buddy was able to hook up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening.
That's it. This is about from Juan.
See you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.